Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
You're a real loser.
She designed her boyfriend to be an octopus. See the octopus on the screen? That's the boyfriend. It's not even a human. It's an octopus.
An octopus?
That's the boyfriend. It's an AI octopus.
Tell me this.
Wrong with
tell
our
me this.
society.
Tell me that.
What I'm eating, to be honest.
Tell me that's not absolute. I mean, women are crazy.
He could fill all her holes and have 5 hands free.
Yeah, I guess she likes a real handsy dude.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
Right out of the box. Right out of the box. Seth Wiley for Dr. Dan Tuesdays. Thank you, Seth. 25 on the PayPal. PayPal, Venmo, Cash App at the Bubba Army. Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. And just a quick, not a quick reminder. I think this is the first that we've talked about it, Lummy. But after today's show, Lummy and I are going to sit down and rough in the Hall of Fame candidates because we're going to probably. Now, are we announcing them tomorrow? Or are we just giving them the candidates and then, taking some time to look at the candidates and go over it and then do maybe on Friday, maybe tomorrow, Lummy, we give the candidates.
Okay.
Because this year I'm going to pick 10. I'm going to pick 10 people.
All right.
I think that's what is. I think we've been as high as 16 before and as low as 10. So I'm going to pick 10 this year.
Okay.
Even though it happens every year, you get 10 and then there's like 2 that you're like, oh my God, they should be in there. Then you make it 12. I just think you got to stick with 10 and then the people that didn't qualify, the 10 or so people, because we'll probably have a list of 20 plus. Then you just got to like the people that did make it, you have to know that you're probably an odds-on favorite to make it next year.
Yeah. That's how it usually has worked.
Yeah. So tomorrow we'll do the rough-in list of the Hall of Fame class of 2026, and then on Friday with Gene, we'll actually give the final lock. Well, on Friday we'll announce officially who the 10 people are that make the Hall of Fame. And for you other Hall of Famers out there, make sure you're, because they're now kind of officially part of an elite group. So, welcome them and be nice to them. And, they're now part of your small little family. I think Lemmy gave me, you have right here, Lemmy. I have a complete list of the Hall of Fame people.
Yes.
You gave that to me a while back. Actually, quite a bit of people. How many people? I think there's 61.
Jesus.
I think there's 61 people.
I believe
in
so.
the Hall of Fame. Now, we've had some people, I think, drop out.
Unfortunately.
A couple.
Yes.
A couple. Let me see. I got, based on dropouts, I'm not going to mention any names, okay? But I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 people that, basically hate us now. I've turned into trolls for whatever reason.
And how many people have died that's on the...
Oh.
On the Hall of Fame list?
I don't think any. Well, I got Hierarchy, Indiana BRN, Jeremy Nash, Johnny K, Johnny Kostika, Justin Nash, Larry Bueller, Let's Fudge Some Whores, Lil Wilbur, LM Close, let me write this down, Melissa Carpenter, Mike Thurman, Mitch, Napa Mike, Neil Mount Plaisir, Nikki Peeled. I wonder if we should put Allie Peeled in there. Maybe that would be,
sure.
That's probably, well,
she's a trooper.
Something for us to talk about today when we're roughing our list,
yes,
right, buddy?
Yeah, exactly.
Mitch the gun guy, although Lummy has him typed down as Mulch the gun guy. Little typo, Lummy. Little too much Cheetos that night.
That was Grouper Lips.
Oh, okay. Paper Towel Willie, Poodle Ballin', Precision John, Rainey the Realtor. Lummy, what's SAGT?
Oh, Semi-Auto Glass Travis.
Oh, now how am I supposed to know that?
I know.
Who did this list?
Grouper.
Grouper. Come on, group. How am I supposed to know SAGT? I'm like, I've never seen anybody named Sag. Dan, do you know anybody named Sag?
No, sir.
Sag. How would you even say SAGT? Sagged. Yeah, Semi-Auto Glass Travis. Come on, grouper. Slamming Phoebe's. Are we going to be able to save some money this year because we don't have to print them up? Or are we gonna print them up and give them the physical busts?
No, we were gonna still give them the physical bust.
All right, so we still got all that absorbent cost.
Yes.
Oh, it's a lot of money.
I know.
Especially converting it to a CAD file. It's a couple $1,000.
That's the big one.
Slamming Phoebe's Beeve, Stanley the Sniper, Sunbelt Bob, Super Fat Bubba Light, Susan Poitras, Tease, T-Shirt Will. Scout, Big Gulp, Heather Wiz, Iggy, Airtight, Shivering. That's Kenny Price. Shivering is Zero Biz, this. Kenny Price, Cable Dog, Grouper, Scotty Landers, 843 Bubba, Adam Nielsen, Big Buck, Big E, Big Man. We got a lot of bigs. Big Red. We got Big Buck, Big
Big
E.
Army.
Yeah, we got Big Buck, Big E, Big Man, Big Red. Bob Cook, Bright Farm, Brooke Hogan, Brandon the Quad, Captain Cream. I love Captain Creamsicle.
Oh, he's a big guy.
Creatine Travis, Dianavac, Fish on the J, FTE Amy. Now, is FTE Greg in here?
Yes.
Well, it doesn't have him. Am I just supposed to assume with Amy comes Greg?
Yeah, I would assume so.
Yeah.
They're a package deal.
And by the way, I think they start their boating,
Their big boating journey?
No, their big boating journey that
It's
starts
like a
in New England.
9-monther, right?
Well, I think, maybe a year. I think they
boy.
start in New England. They go all the way down the eastern coast. Now, there's a part
Gotta
of...
really like your mate.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a mutiny on the balcony.
I mean, think about it, man. Greg and Amy, you guys must be the most in-love couple in the world to be able to spend... and I think the boat's only like a 35-footer. I don't think it's like anything where you could go and...
Not a private time.
You can't say, listen, I got a 120-foot yacht, and I'm going to go to the stateroom, and you go down in the deck quarters so we can have some separation here for I at least need a day without your stupid ass yelling at me.
So you couldn't do it with Merch Crick?
God, no.
Yeah, I could.
No way.
Hold on, Gooch.
There's no way, Bubba, that you'd
Gooch.
last with anyone for a year.
Gooch, and Glowbug. Gooch and Glowbug. Yeah, that's my Hall of Fame. Sorry, FTE Greg. I don't know why they left you out, but we have your wife there, so I'm assuming it's a package deal. FTE, Amy, and Greg.
Do you know who's conspicuously missing from that list?
Who?
Nick the Gun Guy, who's been so generous to us over the years.
I don't know.
Remember, Grouper Lips called him Mulch, the gun guy.
Oh, that was really
Yeah.
Nick the Gun Guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it here, Nick the Gun
Yeah,
Guy.
but
Okay.
let me. Can you get on Grouper a little bit and just please spell it all out for me, because I don't know who SAGT is,
Yes.
or Mulch the Gun Guy. Mulch the Gun Guy. It means Nick the Gun Guy.
Yes.
Yeah, so he's not. No, Dan. I think he got in a couple. Did he get in last year or the year before?
I believe the year before.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're at 61, I think, and then it'll be 71 when we get done. Doing our thing. Lemmy and I are going to meet today about it, and then we'll give you the we'll give you the list of candidates tomorrow, and then the people to actually get in.
Is it premature to ask you if you have any shoo-ins, like definites, like these guys are definitely in it?
No, I think it's premature. Yeah.
Okay.
Me and Lummy went over the little bit of the list today. Yes, there are some absolutely lock-ins, but I'm not going to tell a person he's a lock-in compared to a person who barely makes it.
I understand.
There's some, unlike Dan.
There's personalities in there.
You don't live in a world where there's a pecking order to people of your customers. Well, you probably do.
Yeah.
Meaning, you probably have some customers, some women or something like that see you on the reg, like they're on a regiment where they get Botox, they get the Morpheus, they get to and those are probably some of your best customers. Women that they make their appointment when they're leaving from that appointment. Like, you know, they go to the little woman that keeps score there, you know, and says, okay, listen, schedule me for 3 months from now because I'm going to need Botox. I stay on my Botox. What do you recommend? 3 to 4 months?
3 to 4 months.
Yeah,
Usually 3 months.
So, like, well, a woman that's making her goes in for Botox today, when she's rolling out and sees the scorekeeper, the woman that collects the money or does the scheduling, will she just go ahead and schedule it right there?
Yes, she will.
Yeah, like, okay, I'll see you in 3 months because I got to keep up on my Botox. So you have customers too. Somebody that's been to you one time and somebody that's been to you 22 times.
Like a friend of mine that my friend Jim Powers, the ophthalmologist that lasered my eye on a Saturday afternoon when he had a lot of other things going on. Like he and his wife are VIPs. Like they'll never, ever, ever. They're like, you know, you are.
Yeah.
They got carte blanche. You know, people that have taken a thorn out of my paw, which is, you know, only a handful of people.
Well, and family.
And family, of course, right.
Like, you know, you of course, yes. Boy, it's good to get VIP treatment at Dr. Dan's. When I go, I don't even have to wait in the waiting room. I just go right to Dr. Dan's couch, and I'll wait for him in there. And then he'll come and be like, hey, you need to get in a room. I'll be like, yeah, which room's the laughing gas in, buddy? I brought my own mask.
You got your own tubing?
I brought my own tubing. Nothing. I ain't costing you nothing but the gas, buddy. So anyway, tomorrow will be the rough-in, and then the official list will come down on Friday. And we got to start. At that point, once you find out who the 10's going to be, you got to contact them. Get pictures? They got to take pictures, all different kind of sizes and things like that, right?
Yes.
Right.
Well, and we'll get a hold of them and get all it done. Now, people in chat are wondering, and don't be upset if he didn't make it. But is Pete in the running?
No, come on.
Pete who?
Pete Rossini, my co-host of Deadly Intentions. No,
that Pete.
No.
Okay. Sorry.
Listen, I'm really kind of a fanboy for his intellect and for, you know, him being a co-host on Deadly Intentions. Deadly Intentions. I think, Lummy, we're gonna hit our 3,000th watch hour here any day, which means we can monetize.
I sent it to you.
No, you did text
Yes.
it. You text it?
Yeah, I texted you.
Okay, fantastic. So, like, I really like Pete. I really think he's smart. I know you guys are sick of hearing him. But if you go to the Deadly Intentions podcast, Deadly Intentions show on YouTube, it's also on our YouTube channel. Just as you scroll down, it's part of my channel, and it's going well. I think this Thursday is a must listen to Thursday as Pete starts dissecting how we got into this Iranian war and potentially. Now this is part one. Part two will be next week, right?
Yes.
Now have you got a report back from Gary and his helper? How's it going?
They are. Yeah, they're plugging away.
All right. So that doesn't sound too good.
No. It's just that, you know, they're working on it. They had a couple they're working on in the hopper. So, and you have the Iran one done, and Macho needs to chime in.
Well, his microphone's up. He just has to hit.
I was trying to find the appropriate time.
I always have your mic. Your mic is always potted up. You just got to turn it on your side. You told me never to keep it on, just for you'll turn it.
I wanted you to go to me when it was time.
All right, well, it's time to go to you.
Really quick, I want to apologize to Dan because the past couple of days, YouTube, every time I enter in all our information for today's show or yesterday's show, it just completely dumps it out. Dan comes in really nice saying, hey, what's up? And I'm like,
So, you've been a little short with Dan.
Yes, I
Big
want
dick over there as you walk into the room.
I feel like an ass about it, so I just want to let him know. I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. I don't care.
Macho's under a lot of pressure. But Macho, thank you for being so good under pressure, and thank you for apologizing to Dan. I didn't know there was a problem.
There's not a problem.
Well, it must be a big problem if Macho Man feels so bad about it. Like,
yeah.
he feels bad about being a little bit stiff with you. Means he might have been a little bit stiff with you, buddy.
Well, every time he says hi, like in his little stiff mood, I just kind of put my head down and walk away. Like Lummy.
Right. So anyway, Lummy,
Thank you.
Now, is Gary stressed out over this episode that drops in 2 days? Is he stressed on it? See, I would hope that Gary would be like by Monday or Tuesday, be like, man, we got it all done. We're just, making the final touches on it. I'm already working on the one that's from 2 weeks from now. The one that's due this Thursday, I'm pretty much done. But it seems like it's not that way. It's down to the last minute, causing Gary all types of strife, and I don't want that. I don't want it to be, that stressful or pressure packed for Gary. But is it?
No, I mean, listen, it's Gary. That's just how he is. He's a artist. He likes perfection. So he's
is the new guy is he gonna make it?
Yeah, but he's not doing the Iran one. That's Gary. He's doing the Iran.
Oh, okay.
And the other guys do because they're both now all different ones, and Gary knows what you're gonna want for the Iran one, where this guy is learning what you want for the Deadly Intentions one.
Okay.
So they're different avenues.
Now this is all under your umbrella. You have to navigate and orchestrate these people, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Are you good?
Oh, we're good. We're good.
All right. So this Thursday at 10 o'clock, Deadly Intentions, and Lummy. It's I think this will be the first one that people see how I've really, really, really made a mental note not to say right. Like, I think my rights are at an all-time low, and I just sit there and let Pete get it all out, and, don't interrupt him at all.
Why did you get upset?
No, but listen, Dan, it's like even though I should be a good potential podcast host, I'm not, because podcasting is way different than doing what we do. A fast-paced content show about several different topics, and you keep it moving quickly, as quick as you potentially can, with several people interjecting, is way different than just a one-on-one, ask a question, have him answer it thoroughly. Maybe if there's a few injection points, bring that in, but mostly just sit there, throw the pitch, let him knock it out of the park, run the bases, and explain it all, while I just sit there and don't really say much, except listen to the story and interject as needed. That's way different than I'm used to doing. So it took me up until, I think this will be the first one, because before this one, I think the first one that I really, really got and really paid attention and tried to not say right, and try to step over Pete would have been the next cartel one that's coming. But that one was already in the can. We threw this one that drops this Thursday. We threw that one together last week. And so I think not only will you like the content with regards to how the Iranian situation is going to potentially work out, how we got into it, where it's headed, on stuff that our legacy media has not really got it, like news stuff and things that happened that I don't think are being reported here in America. And so Pete breaks it down. I feel really good about getting better at hosting, and I think that you'll see that this coming Thursday. It drops at what, noon, Lummy?
10 o'clock.
I'm sorry,
the show.
10 o'clock right after the show. Can you please tell Gary that I'm concerned about him? And I just, would hope that we could get ahead of it a little bit and him not be so stressed out. And
well, that's what the plan is, because this one was thrown in last week. We were planning on with the other guy to have him have the Deadly Intentions one. So once the Iran is done.
Well, good. Then since Gary did Iran, then the guy could be working on the next one. Right?
That's where he's already doing.
Okay. So because of Marcus and because of Kevin and our great friends at Get a Box, which I'm just telling you, I know that you guys, this is a broken record. I just know it is. And you're tired of hearing about it. But I mean, it's an absolute game changer. It really is. And if you're on the fence, go to getabox.com. You can use Bubba as a promo code. And if you're on the fence about potentially, getting one of these things, I just got to tell you, it's unbelievable. And Lummy, I'm a big Lioness, I'm a big Paramount Plus guy, but that cost, you got, what is Paramount Plus a month? Like, isn't it like
$9.99?
Is it something $12.99 or something like that?
$13.99?
Yeah, something like that. And I think that's the only place that you can get like Lioness and Dutton Ranch and Tulsa King and Mayor of Kingstown and all the other Tyler Sheridan. It seems like Tyler Sheridan, he's entered into a deal with Paramount Plus, and I mean, he does all the hit shows, right?
Yes.
Well, anyway, Lioness with the Zoe Saldana girl, the hot Dominican Republic. I don't know what her ethnicity is. What
Dominican, Puerto Rican.
Yeah, hot. Dan, Lioness would be something you would get into. You'd really get, because it's about a chick that is a CIA operative, and they only drop her and her team of 12 people into really, really, really messed up situations, and usually it's like all undercover, and they don't want anybody to know about it. So
A little science fiction?
No, not much science. Well, yeah, no, it's probably it's probably more true than ever, because this is season 3 of The Lioness, and because I have Get a Box, I'm able to just get it no problem, and crystal clear 4K, unbelievable. So I've watched seasons 1 and 2 of Lioness. Season 3 just came out, and there are only 3 episodes into season 3, but the first episode is all about dropping the Lioness and her team into Ukraine. Have you seen it, Lummy?
I've seen the first season, yes.
Where they drop, you've seen all 3 episodes?
Yes.
Okay, so you're with me then.
Yes.
So, like, when you get this news report from yesterday, okay, let me just play this. Ukraine has unleashed hundreds of drones across Russia in one of its largest aerial assaults of the war, killing at least 6 people and sending warehouses ablaze. Russia says it destroyed 822 Ukrainian drones overnight, while Moscow also launched fresh strikes into Ukraine, killing 5 people. More to come. So this is Russia, and these are all the damage that these drones did. And Lummy, what is episode 1? Tell Dan or the fine people, Lioness, what's episode 1?
If I remember right, it was that with the mission, they lost the mission. They're bombing the whole.
Well, they dropped him into Ukraine.
Yeah.
To go specifically get like the number 2 in charge of Russia, and it was all about they had to fight. They had never seen drones before used in warfare, and it was all about drones. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the drones.
Yeah, and they'd never seen these drones, and they had to deal with these drones. And I mean, I guess that's what Ukraine has, these, $700, $900, $1,500 drones, and they just send them in waves, like thousands of them. And I think that's the new way of war. Is you got these little inexpensive drones that have enough ballistics in them or bombs on them to blow up a house or something, and they just fly them into. I think they fly them into foxholes, and they fly them into just anywhere anybody would be. So this is various footage of the drones that got into Russia, killing 6. Now, supposedly Moscow in Russia said it sent some stuff over, and they killed 5 yesterday in Ukraine. So
those explosions aren't like little $1,000 drones. Those are bigger drones, aren't they? Like almost like missile type drones.
No, I don't think. I mean, I don't know, Dan.
I think they're sending some missile like drones, but I don't think the 822 are like the missile like drones.
Yeah.
I think they got the small ones like Bubba's saying.
The ones that will take out a couple soldiers at a time?
Yes. And like the soldiers, if you think about it, Dan, if you got a bullet, like a .223 or, whatever an assault rifle that the U.S. military would have, it's one bullet. Now, yes, they have automatic and semi-auto, what have you, but unless you got a shotgun or something that has a spread on it, that single bullet probably it's good to hit a drone at 200-300 feet above you. You're probably not going to hit it, right?
They don't. They miss it.
Yeah, they miss it
every time.
So unless you got a machine gun that's just laying down, spray. I don't know if maybe they're going to develop a gun that shoots like a big. I mean, I hate to say it, but like a Spider-Man web out.
Yeah.
That catches these drones. Drone guns.
They're making different types of drone guns, and the guy that invents the best one is going to be a bazillionaire because it's become, just like you said, a new, very commonly used tool in warfare.
And very, very, very economical.
Meaning, and super effective.
You can get a $700, $900 drone, and one guy can control the whole fleet of them, and they stay equally distanced apart. So like one guy can fly like 1,000 of them, and he just is flying them as a group, and because they have these GPS spacing chips in them, they won't fly into each other, but they'll fly like in formation. And he just takes this big swarm of drones and flies it right into a whole bunch of guys, and they got couple sticks of dynamite on the back, right? Nothing that weigh. I mean, what's a stick of dynamite weigh? I mean, I'm sure they're able to pack something with the explosiveness of a stick of dynamite, which I think a stick of dynamite could kill 50 guys if it hits the right place, right?
Certainly kill 5 or 10.
Right. So you throw, you got these big herd of drones. One guy's controlling it all, and he just flies it into wherever. And you're right, Dan, the guy that can come up with some type of shotgun or some type of maybe bigger gun that shoots a big ass like a big Spider-Man net and nets the drones, probably is going to be the next Elon Musk, right?
Mm-hmm.
We didn't cover.
They do have a drone net catcher.
Oh, they do.
Yes, they with like a drone net catcher gun, and I guess
they got a guy with a big butterfly net out there.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Guy's got a big.
But that only works up close, and so
right.
For these big ones that are taking out buildings,
like when you
that
see
probably
him,
won't do much.
And when you see him coming,
it's too late.
You think it is?
It's almost.
Not if you develop some new guns that actually the closer they get, then how you net them up. I don't know.
But do you want the shotgun? Do you want the rifle? Do you want the saw? Or do you want the net shotgun?
I don't know what I want. I think I want one of those bigger guns that they put these big two guys that load a shell into it. I think you load a big...
Like a mortar?
Yeah, but...
You want to be a mortar guy?
No. They're guns, and they have this big recoil once they shoot them. Like the kind of the cannons kind of deal.
Like artillery?
Yeah, like the one they can pull them behind a truck. They have two big wheels
like a howitzer.
Yeah. Well, no, yeah, and so like the big ones that shoot bullets the size of like a basketball, but
right,
yeah,
artillery.
Yeah, artillery, and I think I want something that size that's shooting a net deal. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of what I want to think.
Onboard sensors fires a net.
What's that, Lemmy?
I have a feeling that the military has better than what these are, but.
Is this an example of a drone net?
Drone Catcher is a counter-drone multicopter from Delft Dynamics equipped with a pneumatic net gun. It locks onto a rogue drone using onboard sensors, fires a net to entangle it, then carries it away on a tether and drops it safely by parachute.
But hold on, you gotta have this up in the air.
Drone Catcher.
So you gotta have this up in the air, and to me it seems like it only catches one. I need one the size of one of these artillery shells that you throw up, and it throws out a net like the size of half of a football field, and it catches 500 of them. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. This is child's play.
Is a counter-drone multicopter from Delft Dynamics equipped with a pneumatic net gun. It locks onto.
So now you got drones, and then you got anti-drone drones, and then you got a
rogue drone using onboard sensors, fires a net to entangle it. Then
get the hell out of here. I didn't know that 5 got shot at Virginia State. Do you notice this now, man? Like shootings. Like, okay, so 5 shot at Virginia State University, 1 critical, multiple shooters involved, and we barely heard about it. Like, that doesn't even move the needle nowadays to get on the main news, right? Like,
You're right. It wasn't big enough.
No, so 5 shot, multiple shooters, 1 critical. Now, the multiple shooters to me is what's, most disturbing. So you got multiple shooters, 5 shot, 1 critical, and I could barely find this article. And I did have it yesterday. It happened a couple days ago. I think it happened on Saturday. But, just think about how effed up our country is. You have to be more deadly and more corrupt and bad than that in order to get any type of real news. I think just the local affiliate up there covered it.
And we hope conditions continue to improve. We want to get you to some breaking news coming out of Virginia. 5 people shot at Virginia State University early this morning.
5 people shot doesn't even get on the ABC Nightly News now.
We're getting reports of...
Which just goes to show you how desensitized we are about people getting shot. People are getting shot so much every day that unless it's a big shooting, we're not going to probably cover it.
Hey, well,
We got the Lindsay Clancy trial to cover, and she just raised $900,000 from her GoFundMe account. And people now are saying that the Lindsay Clancy defense now supposedly is going to be her husband did it.
Yeah, there's a lot of people saying
Her
that.
husband did it and threw her out the window. Come on, man.
Possibility of this involving several shooters. Officers responded just around 1:30 this morning and found victims outside campus residence halls. The victims reports one of these victims may be in critical condition and the other four suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. It happened near Virginia State's quad annexes. Campus police, Chesterfield County Police, and the ATF, just some of the agencies that are investigating right now as we speak. The lockdown at the school, though, has been lifted. Updates right here.
All right, I'd want to know more about the multiple shooter deal. Was it two whack jobs that were working together? Was it, that's what's most concerning there, right?
Yes.
Is we got multiple shooters trying to take kids out at Virginia State.
Do we have IDs on the shooters?
Yeah, it looks like it was some teenagers.
Working together?
Yeah, it looks like they were just, it's a kind of a neighborhood gang violence kind of thing.
Oh, imagine that.
Black, white, Spanish?
This man looks like to be a black man.
Well, let me get him. Send me
Now,
more
if there's
details.
a white guy shooting up the school,
Oh, yeah.
it'd be front page news.
Two white guys shooting it up.
Yeah.
A couple white supremacists, of course. And God forbid that they shot, within that five happened to be an African-American guy. Oh, then it would be just absolutely rioting in the streets. I can't breathe. Yippee, all that nonsense.
I said it to you.
Thank you. I'll get to it next, okay?
Quite simply, you're listening to pure filth. And he's damn proud of it. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Welcome week is where all the freshmen get here a week early. At Virginia State University. Rhythmic sounds from the drumline range students into campus ahead of the first day of classes Monday. I wasn't expecting that at all. But freshman engineering student Miles Blake says the percussion ringing out early Saturday morning. I knew something was going to happen, but I wasn't expecting a shooting. Was much more terrifying. We looked out a window, everybody was just running. I saw everybody running, so I knew it was shots. This police scene here was the result of a mass shooting near the University Quad Annex buildings on campus on the 3300 block of Boyko Street, which injured 5 people, one of those critically. There was 100 shots going off, rapid fire. 5 victims, including a BSU student, were taken to nearby hospitals. BSU officials confirmed that the student was among those with non-life-threatening injury. Violence prompted by put more cops on duty.
Good morning, 305. Rick James.
They didn't really have these right here.
Yeah.
USMC, Oshak, Bob Cook, Berto, Pappy Jasper.
It looks like 4 out of the 5 weren't students.
I'm saying should be allowed in there. Jeff Coy, FTE Sam, James Bentley, Group of Lips, fuck you.
That's right, Group of Lips and fuck you.
Huh?
Well, he said it hey, Group of Lips, fuck you.
I didn't mean by fuck you, Group of Lips. It's like saying fuck you. Felix, Burke, Dirt Merchant, Art, Captain Kona. Ice-T.
Yeah, I saw Rich
Mitch
Rand,
the Mark. Never trust a fart.
All right, Jeff Coy, you get it.
Big Buck.
Straight weekend, 97 months.
Berto. Ginzer. Greg.
What DeJohn Carrington just did on national television was not a basketball play. It was a full contact, gridiron-style assault. We thought the WNBA would step in.
Arguably the two most aggressive coaches in the sport are in the same division with the stoic, less emotional, less aggressive Matt LaFleur. And so it amplifies what is a problem. It's not my opinion. I've been defending Matt LaFleur for years. Packer fans are all over him. And he's making the playoffs, sneaking into the playoffs. So and if you look at the 49ers and the Lions in the NFC, arguably the two most physical NFC teams,
What's up, the others?
LaFleur's 4 and
What's up,
8
Tony?
against those teams.
Hi, Hall. Good
And
morning.
so there is a sense with LaFleur's teams,
Trash guy.
88% of the time they've taken a lead in a game. That's a remarkable percentage. Why? Because he's smart. They don't commit penalties. They're highly efficient. One of the smartest teams in the league.
Over 30
But in the
years. In other words, generally speaking, the people that were setting monetary policy in the
That
90s
guy in
and
Cali
80s,
looks like
whatever
Bush. Broke my groin. And cock and balls. Smoke Slayer. Jonesy. And Jax. That's fan. Jack the dog.
Lemmy, do you have... I'm doing this Morgan Wallen concert where the guy got peed on.
Yeah.
Nice.
I saw one, but I couldn't. Maybe I'll try to find it.
What?
Where they actually he was in. Let me see. I sent it to myself.
Oh, you're talking where they actually.
He actually walked through the inner. I got it. I'll find it. I found it. Then
Kansas.
I was having a problem with the
Eagles.
fucking.
Oh, Shaq.
I was having a problem with the volume.
Kansas Owens. Wilson debate.
Maynard Gene.
Like, let me.
I sent it to
this. Hold on. This article right here.
Yes.
I cannot look for the life of me. I cannot get the fucking volume to work. Like it will not work. Hey, it's Bubba the Love Sponge. If you're looking for a Volkswagen or any quality used vehicle, it's Volkswagen of Wesley Chapel. You can get financing as low as 0% APR on new VWs and as low as 1.9 APR on certified pre-owned. Over 200 new VWs in stock. Over 200 used vehicles in stock. You're looking for a specific car or truck or something they don't have? They'll find it for you. Mention Bubba Army, get an additional $1,000 off new or used. No questions asked. Ask for my boy Rolo. For more information, go to VWofWC.com. Volkswagen of Wesley Chapel.
It's a sign. The end times are here. Ultra-powerful hurricanes, tsunamis, massive earthquakes, and Bubba, the Love Sponge.
Sorry. Let me gave me some additional information about the person that was the shooter, or one of the shooters at Virginia State, and it's a kid named Cameron Harris, 19. Was discovered hours later and hiding in a closet at one of the dorm rooms. Now he's an African American kid, and he's not a college student. So is he like just a kid from the area that decided to go, bat crap crazy and gun down? And this was all kids that were moving into the dorms that day. They were all moving in. When he decided to him and somebody else decided to pick off 5 people. Well, I don't know that anybody's dead. One's in critical condition. The other 4 are non-life threatening. But I don't know what this guy was thinking or what his problem was, or it's just an isolated deal where, hey, I'm going to go down to the university today, even though I don't go there and I'm not a student there, and I'm just going to shoot people.
Well, it could be like how if you look at UT or like USF, there's a couple shady neighborhoods right next to it.
Oh, Suitcase City?
Yeah. I mean, sometimes they make it over.
Yeah.
Make it over to the
like,
university.
Hey, we don't have a lot going on here living in the ghetto, but maybe we can go over to the university, see some hotties, hang out, act like we're a student and what have you, talk to some people, what have you. And then this guy decides to get mad, brings a gun, and didn't he have a couple other people with him, or is there a Henrico teenager found hiding in a dorm closet was arrested more than 14 hours after 5 people were shot at Virginia State University's campus Saturday morning. So they just list him, but I don't think they list anybody else.
No, I don't think so. I don't believe so.
When police arrived, they found 5 people suffering from gunshot wounds outside Virginia State dormitories near the quad annexes. And I always, Dan, do you remember moving your freshman year? Because when you're a freshman, you always got to live on campus for the most part. I think they've changed the rules now a little bit.
It depends on the school.
But freshman move-in day, and I remember like it was Jones Hall, room 513, Indiana State University. I had my 74 Ford Maverick just packed to the gills with clothes baskets. Like, we didn't have any like wagons or anything like that. You had to just carry everything in.
Right.
And like, and my parents didn't help me. My mom and dad said, "Hey, here's $100 for some gas money, some food, and to get you through the week or two." I know that then the money that I worked in the summer I had in a savings account, which would try to could pretty much get me through the year, and that's how it went. And you called mom or dad if you were getting a little bit low on money, and they'd put like 20 or 30 or $40. My mom and dad's go-to amount was $40.
That was the solution.
Yeah,
everything's gonna be fixed for $40.
Yeah. So like if my mom, I call my mom. I usually try to call my mom on Sundays. That's kind of like was our jam. I called her on Sundays, and she'd be like, "Okay, everything's going. How you doing? You been going to class? Yes. Really? No. Are you doing good in class? Yes. Really? No. Did you meet new friends?
Just the firefighters that caught me naked.
Yeah, true. So and then it'd be like, she's like, how you doing on money? And this is like maybe 3 months in, and I'd pretty much blown through my entire what was supposed to last me all year. I'd blown through it.
Of course.
Pizzas, beer, alcohol, steroids, stuff you need. And so she's like, "How you doing on money?" I would never ask her for money. I'd ask my stepdad Eddie, be like, "Hey Eddie, can I get like just a little bit of money? Like maybe." He's like, "Okay." And then they put $40 in it. Like they go to the bank the next day, and but you had to call the bank. There was no online seeing what your amount was.
They had ATM cards.
No, I never had an ATM card. No, it was cash. You have to go to the bank, write a check, get cash. I didn't have ATM cards. They didn't have ATM cards in '84.
They did.
Did they?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I didn't.
They didn't want to give them to you.
They didn't want to give me an ATM card. I'd go crazy with it. Did you find
your
that?
long distance card?
No, the one that I found, like you had, the volume wasn't working, and then it updated it on their website, the SYR website, to a whole other story.
Yeah, like the story that I was reading, that I was getting is the guy that got peed on. They were interviewing him, and he's like, and I was standing up there with my wife and my kid.
So I don't know.
Next thing I know, turn around, this guy's got his pants all the way down to his knees, and he's peeing on the back of my wife's leg, and my kid got peed on.
That might be this. They may have just updated it.
Well, so it was this television station. This local television station that really had the most in-depth coverage. A lot of people are covering. The story I'm talking about is a guy.
Well, if you click on it, I think it's the same one.
You think it's the same one?
They're interviewing the same guy. I just can't hear the other one.
It had the makings of a magical night.
Yeah. Okay, we'll go here. So let me just give everybody a little bit of the backstory. So this guy, regular dude, taking his wife and his kid to the Morgan Wallen concert, right?
That's pretty rugged.
Yeah, that guy looks like a regular dude.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like maybe kind of a more blue-collar version of Aaron Rodgers, right? Like, looks like a guy that can whip some ass. His wife, she's got a sleeved-up tattoo. She looks like she probably trains a little bit. They look like a pretty,
fun couple.
I'm assuming that's maybe their daughter. To her left, it's kind of leaned up like in like maybe a little girl dress or something like that, and they've conveniently probably cropped her out because they don't want people to see necessarily their child, especially with them having a news story that's a national, that's really kind of an oh wow story. And so this guy takes his wife and his daughter. They look like a very middle to upper middle class, Guy looks like he could own his own construction company, or just looks like a regular badass good dad. Looks like he has a good wife, good relationship, got the little kid, and we're going to go to the Morgan Wallen concert. So that's cool. We're going to the Morgan Wallen concert. Next thing you know, because, during a concert, there's a lot of times that you're standing, not sitting down necessarily for whatever high spot Morgan Wallen's putting on out there. You're standing up. Next thing you know, you turn around, and this guy has his pants down and his wiener hanging out, and he is peeing, urinating on your wife's legs and your child.
So what do you do when this happens, Bubba?
I'll tell you, I don't know. I don't know if I got any fight left in me with my little T-Rex arms, but I try to take a hack at the guy. Now,
do you, or you just grab his dong and just hold him with that?
No.
Grab him by his dong, and it's like grabbing a wild animal by its tail.
No.
I don't watch him try to run away.
No, Dan, I don't want to grab his dong.
I got your dong on my hand, and I'm not letting go, bitch.
Although you could render even a way more physically enabled guy more so than you if you had his dong in your hand.
Oh, you can't do anything if someone's got your dong in their hand.
Right.
You're done, dude. It's like a puppet.
I mean, even I could.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
I could probably control Rob Kahn if I had his dong in my hand, but I don't necessarily think I'm doing that.
I don't think I'm gonna try it.
But if he's got it whipped out and it's right behind you and he's peeing on you with it, I mean, that's like the logical thing. Grab him with one hand with your dong, grab his dong with one hand and smack him with the other hand.
Well,
what's he going to do?
I don't know.
He's going to be counting clouds.
I can't necessarily know what I would do, although I don't know how much fight I have left in me. I'm a 60-year-old man, but I would try to do something. Like I would try to do something to get him to stop peeing on my wife and my
daughter.
kid. And there comes a certain amount of really perversion about this. Like you're not the dad, the guy that's doing this, the peer, you're really a sick, demented mother effer. And here's the bad part of the story. So the dad gets the cops. He's got pee all over him, pee all over his wife, pee all over his daughter, and the cops say they can't do anything about it and let the guy walk. They let the guy walk. That's the big whodunit in this story. And so now the guy has gone to the news stations, and stations are starting to pick up this story and stuff. And it's just like, I can't even imagine what. Well, Lummy, 6'6", 315. If somebody was peeing on Walker and Ashley, Lummy, I think you would see red.
Oh,
even
yes,
as much of a softie as you are, I think you would absolutely kill a guy.
Yeah.
What would you do though? First, would you like punch him? Would you push him? Would you
talk to Lummy about it? I don't know.
Honestly,
I'm just curious.
I don't think I would do. I mean,
it's shocking.
Your reasoning is great. I'm glad to grab his dong as your first thought, but I think I'm just punching him.
First thought.
I think Lummy is. Like, you got to understand how big Lummy is. So I think Lummy is just pummeling the guy.
Yes, yeah.
I think he's just. Here's the story.
It had the makings of a magical night. Troy Grevelding and his wife.
By the way, Lummy, it's only in the left channel. It's just some jobber-ass television station in Richmond, wherever the hell. So it's not us, and it's not you. They're only giving it to us in the left channel. I hope you guys can hear it.
From Scruple in Baltimore to see a country music superstar.
Our wedding song was a Morgan Wallen song.
The couple joined by his brother's family, including 2 nieces.
The 8-year-old's been to one concert and she loved it, so she couldn't wait to go see Morgan. And then the 11-year-old was dying to go see him. These were Christmas presents.
First tailgating, then the show.
Yeah, I mean, just like a real good family. Have a little tailgating, bringing my family. Got my niece with me. Got my kid, my wife. These were Christmas presents.
It's a beautiful story.
Great story. All-American story.
But only a few songs in, despite the view from their $600 apiece seats, it's what the man did behind them that destroyed the evening.
Next thing you know...
This guy lays it out. Listen, this is the story I was looking for. Let me thank you for finding it for me. Thank you.
I felt something, but I didn't think nothing of it. I thought the gentleman behind me spilt this beer or something, you know what I mean? Well, next thing you know, I felt it again, and at that same point, my wife goes, whatever that gentleman's doing back there is all going down my leg. Turned my head, and at that point, his pants are down, and he's sitting there, and he's literally just relieving himself all over the back of myself, my wife, all over my niece.
Soaked and horrified.
I mean, can you imagine?
I'd kill.
I mean, can you imagine? Now, you and your wife are one thing, but when you're peeing on a kid, that's like next level. You know what? I'm not giving the peeing guy the benefit of the doubt, but he was so blackout drunk, he probably didn't know what he was doing. But if you did know consciously what you're doing and you are targeting a kid to urinate on, then that's next level, like even like what type of penalty you get. Like this isn't just, battery or whatever, but now it's on a child. And so like it should be next level.
They watched police escort them.
This is what is the worst. The cops refused to do anything.
So did the guy do anything physical to the peer?
I don't know.
They watched police escort the man outside the stadium, but not arrest him. In protest, Gravelding pulled out his phone's camera.
We cannot take him into custody. And I'm not blaming you.
The video now viral.
What do you mean you cannot take him into custody?
Sure you can.
On social media, you can hear the concert go on while he's sorting the mess out.
We had to ride home an hour and 45 minutes back to the Airbnb in my brother's brand new Suburban. So he's got to go get that thing detailed. I mean, all
it's all got, bunch of pee in it.
Clothes smelled like urine. I mean, it was
Urine's bad enough when it's your own, when you pee on yourself. But when urine is just like one of the, Dan, it's like changing your kid's diaper. Well, you never changed a diaper, but I'm saying like your kid's poop doesn't necessarily bug you more so than a stranger's. You know what I'm saying? Like, or like, like if your kid would get sick and their puke or their urine or whatever, it's kind of like part of your own, it's part of your DNA fabric. Like it's not nearly as offensive as, a stranger's poop or pee.
How is that not indecent exposure?
I don't know.
It should be. It should be indecent exposure. It should be battery.
And not only that, but it should be indecent exposure to a child.
Yep, to a minor.
Like that's
It should be a sexual predator charge.
Yes, absolutely.
Something we won't ever forget.
A night remembered for the wrong reasons. In Scruple, Andrew Donovan, News Channel 9.
That other video I sent you, I sent it to you again. I don't know if you had it up. But it's the guy talking to the cops, and the cops explaining why they can't charge them.
Right here?
Yes.
All right, hold on, let me get it. Let me see where it's at here.
On the phone, the same man seen in this viral video alerting Maryland Transportation Authority police at M&T Bank.
Man, I'll tell you right now, Dan, if I am these police supervisor and knowing how this story has gone viral and you guys did nothing when a man, whipped down his pants, had his bare penis out in a stadium, urinated on 3 people, one of which was a child. I mean, and you can't find something to lock that guy up. You're going to let that guy, I don't even know that they ticketed the guy.
Stadium, July 18th, about a man who allegedly urinated on Gravelding and his family members.
I mean, where do they find these people to do these stories? This guy sounds like he's on an iron lung.
Here, Bubba, I'm going to send you because the captions were incorrect. This one, dang it. They're captioning like they're actually showing.
Are they clickbaiting us?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're guilty of that as well, my friend. You can't help it. The clickbait's a dirty game, my friend, and they're getting you right now. But you know what, Lummy? We'll navigate through it together, buddy. Here we go.
Nothing we can do about a guy physically pulling out.
Yeah, this is exactly what we need. Thank you. So, Dan, I think this guy, the guy who got peed on, the victim here, breaks this down to the cops, and like you and I kind of tried to do just now.
Nothing we can do about a guy physically pulling out his and pissing on me right now. Nothing we can do with that in front of an 8-year-old girl.
The man accused of peeing on Troy Gravelding, his wife, and their 8-year-old niece here at M&T Bank Stadium during a Morgan Wallen concert has been arrested. MDTA police say 33-year-old Jason Reed was arrested in North Carolina and is being held there pending extradition to Maryland.
So they did go arrest a guy. Finally?
Yeah, I mean, it looks like he was arrested for something else.
Yeah, he was out of state on bail.
Oh.
The incident happened July 18th.
Oh, so he didn't get arrested for this incident. They only violated him. They didn't arrest him for anything that happened at the stadium. He was already on paper.
Yeah. Yes.
Belding says a man sitting behind him and his family became confrontational and then started peeing on them.
Richard Longwood, if you don't like what we're doing, then why don't you leave? Okay, bud? Instead of being a critic. Gee, you know what? How about this? Why don't you leave? Jesus. How about that?
MDTA police say officers responded to a fight in progress, broke up the individuals, identified the male suspect, and then escorted him out of the stadium. But in this video, Gravelding can be heard telling MDTA officers what happened, and he says they told him.
That's the crime. The crime isn't, that the guy, once the peer got back, they identified him, he was a violation of probation. Why didn't you cuff him that night, that minute, that second?
That because they didn't physically.
If I'm a cop, if you and I are cops, you and I being cops, me, you, and Dan out there with our uniforms on, we're at Ray J Stadium, and all three of us are hanging out, and somebody comes to us and says, "Hey man, some guy just whipped out his wiener, peed on my daughter, my wife, and myself. It completely exposed his penis and everything." I mean, we're like, we can't get there fast enough to beat that guy up.
Oh yeah,
right?
Exactly.
The guy might even tripped a few times going down the stairways, if you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, he's going to fall a few times on the way to prison.
Dan, make sure that guy doesn't lose his balance while Dan's tripping him down the way.
See anything? They couldn't do anything about
Dude,
it.
his pants were his ankles. His pants were down. If a guy's pants are down, he can't do anything. He can't balance himself.
No, he can't. You're done.
You push him, he's gone.
Along
he
with
falls.
holding his penis like you suggested. That guy's a goner.
Yeah, you grab his dog with your left hand, you swing with your right hand, and he's going down the steps.
Investigation, detectives obtained an arrest warrant for Reed, and he now faces 4 counts of second-degree assault, public urination, and other related charges.
Yeah, you know what? Throw the kid sex gimmick in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exposing yourself to a kid.
This guy just looks like a dick.
He does, and Mama tried. Well, she didn't try hard enough.
Oh, is that his tattoo?
Yeah, Mama tried.
Is that what it is, Mama?
Maybe she tried to keep her legs closed.
Yeah, maybe Mama tried to abort you and it didn't work.
Yeah, maybe she tried to get $5 for getting slammed by the dude up the street.
Yeah, we can just keep going on and on, could we not? Yeah, I mean, when white trash does a crime like this, and you're within your booking photo, it says "Mama tried"
on your neck tattoo.
That's just like your mama jokes. You just set yourself up for thousands of "my mama tried," and then you just fill in the blank with the most erroneous things you can think of.
Yeah, at least he spelled mama correctly.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a growing backlash on these flock cameras. But Lummy, and I checked it out after I do this story. There's a website right here, and it's called it's Have I Been Flocked? And it within this story, you click right here. See the website?
Yeah.
I think it's called Have I. Everybody can go to it right now if you're listening to the show or watching.
It is it's haveibeenfucked.com.
Hold on. Make sure you pronunciate that. The way you just said it sounded like something else. Have I been flocked.com. Not have I been. Have I been? Although that would be a good website if you could go and put in a chick's data and it told her how many times somebody's blasted her.
Oh God.
But anyway, you can go to haveibeenflocked.com. Type in your I only know the license plate of my truck, so I typed it in. And I don't really drive my truck that much. You know that.
Yes.
I got a car cover on it outside. So to help it weather a little bit of the Florida heat here, I don't really drive it that much. I drive my Crown Vic. I'm not trying to impress anybody, but you type in your license plates number, and it tells you if what is in the data system of the flock gimmick. I guess that might be the public can access. And it tells you whether you've been flocked and potentially where and where. Maybe you guys can type in your license plate numbers in there and see if you guys have been flocked. I typed in my truck license plate number and it hadn't been flocked. But I never drive. I can't even tell you the last time I drove my truck.
It has to be your Crown Vic.
Oh yeah, I gotta get my license plate to my Crown Vic because I drive it anywhere. I drive my Crown Vic everywhere. Like I don't really care. It's a flat black. I pulled the Bubba Army stickers off because when I road rage from Ocala, then people know who potentially it could be. But if it just looks like a black beater Crown, that could be any white trash from any trailer park near you, and that's kind kind of how I want to. That's kind of how I identify as white trash from a trailer park.
Dr. Dan, are you on there?
Does Dan know?
I don't want to enter my license plate number.
Oh yeah, Dan doesn't want to enter his license plate number for in fear if they don't have it. Now they got it.
All right.
Right? Mm-hmm. I got to find the Crown Vic license. Maybe Merch Crick can text me the Crown Vic license plate number or her Camry, because probably her Camry. She drives that everywhere.
Yes.
Like that's her daily driver. Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes, LH.
Long time.
How are you, bud?
What's going on, Bubba?
Good.
Hey, I'm going to tell you. I told you, Lummy, to let me know. I listen. And when you talk about something I experienced, I'll call. I did that exact same thing that the guy did. I peed on two guys in a movie theater.
You did?
At Tyrone Square Mall.
What, LM, what year are we talking here?
This is about 2 years ago.
Okay. Were you drunk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to see, Lummy will probably know this, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's when that came out, I said, I'm going to see that. And it was at AMC. Me and Duane go. I didn't know they had recliners in there. So I had my Timberland boots on. I'm drunk. I'm high. And I sit up top. Ain't nobody. I sit right behind where the film come out at.
Yeah.
It ain't too many people in there. And then these two guys come in, and they sit directly in front of us. And I'm like, all these seats. I say, we must have took their seat. You know what I'm saying? Because they must come here frequent. So I'm chilling. I didn't even see none of the movie. I fell asleep when they were showing trailers.
Previews.
Yeah, previews. So, Bubba, I'm thinking I'm home. I get out of that recliner. I had my boots off and everything. I'm in my socks. I'm in my recliner. And I whip it out.
Oh, God.
And these two idiots right in front of me, all these seats, they and I peed on one of them, and they jumped up. One of them pushed me. I almost fell because I'm asleep. I don't know what's going on. You know?
You're high and drunk.
And Diane sitting next to me. She jumped up. Lindsay. Oh, I said my name. God damn it. Hey.
Doesn't matter, but nobody caught it. Go ahead.
Okay. But what I'm getting at, because what y'all was talking about, police came immediately. I wasn't even finished. I just grabbed it. You know, like Dr. D say, just grabbed it. I grabbed it so I could stop. And the police came. He said, what's going on? And then the dude started yelling, this dude and he pushed me again. I'm like, bro, I thought I was home. And the police took me to the bathroom. He let me put my boots on, took me to the bathroom, let me finish up, and escorted me and Diane out the theater.
Did he arrest you?
The dude was like, you're not going to arrest him. He just peed on my friend. The same conversation. I walked straight out of there. The police just asked me which one of y'all drove. Even though I did, because she don't drive, you know. I say she did. All we had to do was get out the parking lot.
Wow.
And we gone.
I mean,
they
like,
banned me.
But I mean, like,
from the theater.
But like, that
was it.
I mean, do you think that maybe you should have been arrested?
I would have beat my ass if I was them dudes.
Right. If you were that dude, you would have whooped. You would have whooped that guy's ass.
He would have been tore up.
Yeah. So you can understand, you know, somebody getting. I mean,
right.
if somebody peed on me,
Bubba, that's why I called in.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate
that.
LH.
Here, if I was that dude, I wouldn't be talking to the news. I would have destroyed him. That's why I'm saying that's messed up what I did.
Yeah. Well, LH,
I should have got whooped if they could have whooped me.
It's nice, LH, to know that, you know, when right is right and wrong is wrong, you score it correctly, my friend. That's good to know.
Yeah, that was definitely wrong. I ain't been to the movies since, bro.
Well, LH, I tell you one thing. It was good hearing from you, my friend. I'm glad that you got your ears on, bud.
That is. They always stay on, Bubba.
All right, man. Thank you, LH. Appreciate you. So there's a big controversy on this whole big flock deal. People don't like it.
So does he piss on people at home?
I don't know. I felt as if that was a good ending point with LH because he can tend to be a little long-winded. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I think LH got the story out that he wanted. LH could go on and on and on and on, so I thought that was a good, start and stop point. But that is a great question, and the fact that, is that how you behave at home when you just get off the couch and start, urinating right there in the carpet?
Right,
or the
exactly.
hardwood, or
On
whatever.
your coffee table.
Yeah.
Now to the rising backlash over a nationwide network of cameras that record your license plate details. Over the weekend, there was a confrontation in North Dakota, and officials in one Texas county took action to block the cameras. Anna Schechter spoke with the CEO of Flock, the company behind the cameras, about those concerns.
A protest over Flock Safety's license plate reading cameras turning physical Saturday in Fargo, North Dakota.
This guy's ass crack, like he's straight from the Plumbers Association. Look at it.
Where groups that both oppose Flock but hold different political views clashed.
Mass surveillance is what is going on, and in my
Here's the deal. Regardless of your political affiliation, I don't think you should build political affiliation into your protest of Flock cameras. I don't like them. I pretty much identify as more conservative than liberal. Again, I think I'm the kind of guy that wants to take my 18-year-old and above woman, wife, girlfriend, significant other, sister to the abortion clinic, smoking a joint with a handgun. That's me. I don't think that you should be able to abort your kid one day before he comes out. And I think that, 22, 23, 24 weeks would be like my sweet spot with regards to allowing abortion. But I hate Flock cameras, and my political affiliation has nothing to do with my hatred for Flock cameras. Is there one party that identifies that this is a little bit, cooler of a situation than the other? Is one party more upset about this than the other? Or is this just more of I think everybody doesn't like it?
Yeah, I
didn't know that they were bringing political affiliation, like Democrats, like it, and Republicans don't, or vice versa.
I thought both of those groups disliked the Flock cameras,
Right.
but they also disliked each other.
Yeah, exactly. But
they can't unite in their disdain.
We do have some, hey, you're Republican, I'm Democrat, but you know what, buddy? I hate the Flock cameras. Do you?
Yes, I do.
Fine. You know what? Let's
be friends.
Let's not worry about gun rights, and let's just worry about these stupid cameras that I don't like. Neither do you. Let's have that in common, because that's the fight we're out here protesting over that, not anything else.
my opinion, it has nothing to do with politics. It's about safety.
The confrontation coming the same weekend Hood County, Texas, shut down and covered its Flock cameras amid privacy concerns. The latest signs of a growing national debate over the company's rapidly expanding camera network. Flock's cameras capture license plates and vehicle information, data police say can help find suspects, stolen cars, and missing people. But recent cases of officers accused of misusing the system.
Yeah, I think just last week there were a couple cops that were tracing down their ex-girlfriends and stuff and using, data that they obtained from Flock, in a not so cool situation.
Including to track romantic partners, have intensified questions about privacy and whether Flock put enough guardrails.
Now, do municipalities pay Flock?
Yes, they do.
Oh, okay. For all this extra surveillance?
Yeah, they pay. I think it was a yearly fee for all the cameras.
Didn't St. Pete just approve? I forget how many millions of dollars. Was it an $8 million contract or something like that?
Yeah, I think it was maybe it turned out to be $800,000.
$800,000 contract.
50 Flocks.
If you try to use this tool illegally, you will get caught.
Flock CEO Garrett Langley says some of the growing criticism is based on misinformation.
Have you been surprised by that response?
I've been surprised mostly only by the misinformation that they're attaching it to.
So you're calling it misinformation?
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking to an individual who was concerned, and he said, "I don't like that you track my cell phone from your camera with Bluetooth." And I said, well, I don't do that. And they said, "Well, we really hate facial recognition." I said, "That's fair. We don't do facial recognition." And I think
we just do license plate willies.
The misinformation bucket, and then there's real questions.
The company says it will cut its default data retention period from 30 days down to 7 and require law enforcement customers to use a tool designed to flag suspicious search activity. Langley told us only a third of agencies had turned it on.
All right. So, Anna, what are state and federal lawmakers doing in response to the concerns that a lot of people seem to have about this?
Well, you have members of Congress in Kentucky, Tennessee, Connecticut, California, Democrats and Republicans all moving to restrict how federal agencies can access flock data.
Anyway, you can go to, and it looks like it. Have you put your license plate in there, Lummy?
Yeah, it looks like mine's not in there, but it hasn't updated since July 31st. So,
well, I mean, you haven't. I don't think you've been any place since July 31st that's outside of your daily routine.
True.
Right?
Yeah, true.
How many are in St. Pete, Tampa area?
Oh, I don't know. Lummy could get me a map of the flock camera. Don't they have Lummy locks? Don't they have
flock maps?
I think they have. I think they have flock maps.
Yeah, they do.
Gotta make these two phone calls quick. 813-90 Bubba, 813-902-8222. Open up the phone lines, but gotta be quick because I gotta go into words. Hello, who's this?
Hey, it's Pedro.
Pedro, the pool guy. Gonna give us an update?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna hold on to the break.
No, I want you to tell us now.
Okay. There's people here in Fort Myers, Cape Coral that are ripping the cameras down. Anyway, so
brain cancer.
Positives.
Yeah, you got.
Yep.
Hey, hold on.
I got some positive news.
You got brain cancer. Let's not worry about how many flock cameras are in your neighborhood. Let's talk about you making it to the next day, my friend. Hopefully.
Well, hey, I've got some positive. It's not all doom and gloom, brother.
All right, let's hear it.
I had a meeting on the 23rd of July with my team, and I was found out that the either Temodar or something has decreased the necrosis in my brain, has decreased the swelling of my brain, and it's stepped in the right direction. So I'll take it.
Dan, do you know the medication that he speaks of?
Yeah, he's taking some chemotherapy. It's immunotherapy.
Yep. I'm also on Avastin, and I just started Keytruda and CCNU, another chemotherapy.
So good news.
Yeah. So I told you I'm going to stick around for 16 years to pester the hell out of my kids.
Pedro, I hope, my friend. I hope, my friend, because you're such a good dude, and we really, really, really appreciate you on so many different ways.
What's your thoughts, Dr. Dan?
That's positive news, and again, there's two parts to cancer. One is to stop it from growing, and the second part's to shrink it. And so, hopefully we've achieved the first part, and then can continue to achieve the second part of shrinking it, and we can go away. It's cancer's tough,
have
man.
Decreased in size by 2 millimeters.
That's a good sign. That's better than increasing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard because brain cancers are so aggressive.
So anyway, Pedro, keep us posted, my friend, and we're thinking about you.
Love you guys. No homo.
The whole flock thing's a big.
Back at you, buddy.
Now all these cities are coming out and saying they're getting rid of the flock.
Now look at
but they're replacing it with Axon.
But
and
hold
Axon
on.
is the same thing.
Let me. That's like, I'm not going to say where Dan lives, but within this whole map area is
that little blue dot next to your hand is pretty damn close to where I live.
Wasn't going to say that, my friend, but I'm just saying, like, that's not that many for Tampa. Like, right? That's not that many for Tampa.
Well,
but you're saying they're not using the brand name Flock. They're going over to a new brand.
Yeah, it's called Axon, and now they're making news saying, the city of St. Pete just said they're getting rid of the Flock camera and replace it with the Axon camera. And so people think that they're getting rid of the Flock camera, but with the Axon camera, how it is too is they can go on light poles, traffic signs, anything like that. They don't have to have their own pole. So it's actually worse, and that's where they're going. So all the cities that say they're switching to this Axon that they're just going to put up on these light poles.
That are a little bit more like, I think they're a little bit more universal on where you can put them than these big Flock that has to have, I think, their own standalone pole, and they're really gaudy looking. With these Axons, they're a little bit more stealthy, and they can just strap them onto existing poles.
Yeah, I
think that's right.
I sent you an example of what one looks like, how they put it on the street, like a street sign.
All right, we'll get into that next, okay?
And just so you know, hot dog.
There's not enough soap in the world to make him clean up his act.
Get out of my sight!
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Put yourself over.
Right?
You are correct.
All right, we're good.
That's one of those Axon cameras.
Have Gary go in there and do
he
the
knows the
pre-rolls.
Yep.
Where'd you get that map? Was that also from the website Have I Been Flocked?
No, deflock.org.
Huh?
It's deflock.org.
Deflock.org?
Yeah. Dirt Merchant. Just yeah, well, that's in the desert.
That one near me is probably just getting people even from the base.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not getting picked up there. That's weird. They got flock cameras on like that Home Depot.
Which one? Oh, yeah, the one on.
Yeah, the one on Del Mabry, south of the crosstown. They got two on that.
Are they called Axis?
Yes. Or Axon, sorry, Axon. Oh, check it out, Carlo.
Weird with it. It's weird where they feel like they should put them.
Yeah. 9,000 cameras.
That one on Barcelona is by that.
Oh, they still have license plates. Can't check them out.
Yeah, Carl, you're right. Leave your phone at home. Yeah, no flock cameras found Guthrie. Good point.
Back live, back loud.
Bubba the Love Spun.
Back causing problems. It's the Bubba the Love Spun Show.
Hi, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, Bubba, it's Paul from Wisconsin. I've called in before. Been a long-time listener from all the way back from the 98 Rock days.
Thank you, my friend. What was your name? You cut out.
My name is Paul.
Paul from Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. Hey, I've been following ever since the Greg Biffle crash, and there's breaking news today with a press conference on the Biffle break-in on his house.
Oh, didn't get me up to speed on it, but I think if I remember correctly, the day of the accident or shortly thereafter, his entire family perished in a very unfortunate accident, and somebody broke into their home right after it happened.
Correct. And then also, they've been stealing thousands and thousands of dollars out of their bank accounts and all this stuff, and they think it's an inside job, and it's leading towards his co-pilot of his helicopter and his wife, and they actually were at his funeral as well. It's crazy story.
So do they have these people arrested, or are they just suspects
No, not
at this
yet.
time?
They've been all under investigation for months, and they're having a big press conference, and I don't know how to watch the press conference, but it's breaking at 2:00 today.
2 p.m. I'm sure we could look up 2 p.m. Greg Biffle press conference, and I'm sure that since they've announced it's going to be at 2:00, you could probably find it anywhere.
I've been looking, and I haven't found it, but I did want to share that with you. And like I said, I love your show. I listen to it every day, and like I said, I call in every once in a while, and I just wanted to say you guys are kicking ass, man.
Appreciate it, man. It's so refreshing to hear the good side of people that appreciate us instead of the trolls that listen to us even more intently than you do and want to tell us how stupid we are. But hey, man, appreciate you. I spent some time in Milwaukee. My dad spent a lot of time in Baraboo when he was growing up, so very familiar with Wisconsin, and more importantly, I'm a huge Packer fan, as you know. I'm a little worried about the Packers this year, Lummy. I think that
I agree.
Yeah.
And I'm down in Florida a lot because when I lived in Florida, that's how I started listening to you back in the 98 Rock days. I still go down and visit quite a bit.
Well, I appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate you.
Florida's my jam in the winter.
By what means do you catch the show?
I watch it on Facebook.
Fantastic.
Now.
Fantastic, my friend. You can always find us
But
there.
like I said, I absolutely love your show, love your content, all the people. And like I said, every day when I get to work, I put my earpods in and I listen to your show. And I just wanted to share that little bit of information because I know you guys are so on all the news with all the other stuff. And I don't know, it's like I said, I have an alert on the Biffle thing because I'm very fascinated by this. And Biffle was a great dude, and I actually got to meet him a few times and stuff like that. So it kind of hits home,
All right, Paul. Listen, we're on it, okay, buddy. Thank you for the heads up.
Hey, thanks a lot, Bubba.
Right,
like I said, appreciate you all.
Thank you,
Uncle
Wisconsin.
Eric 25.
Also, let me fish on the J 100. Fish on the J 100. Thank you, my friend. Lummy says maybe your municipality doesn't have the flock This is the new, is it called Axon?
Axon.
Axon.
They're the ones that do drones, too, things like that.
So,
body cams, police body cam.
These are, police. Yeah, you're right. When you watch a body cam deal, it's all Axon, isn't it?
Yes.
So now they're diversifying what they do from straight, police body cams, dash cam footage from law enforcement, and now they're getting in bed with municipalities. It looks like they're maybe solar powered. And they can put these new Axion cameras right on existing light poles, and they're far more, I think, easier to install than these big, clunky flock cameras.
Plus, they can hide them easier too.
Yeah, they can hide them easier. Here's a couple examples of the Axion camera systems that municipalities are putting up.
Might have just found the very first Axon camera in Florida.
Axon.
And as a person, when you move, this thing turns on. Look at it.
Dan, it's like George Orwell's 1984 in Big Brother, is it not?
Yeah, because Big Brother has been us for the last 5 to 10 years because we have captured ourselves doing stupid stuff.
Ring cameras.
And cell phones.
We've kind of big brothered ourselves, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
Cell phones, ring cameras, blink systems. Everybody's cameraed up to the gills.
So now what's going to happen over the next 5 years is these Flock/Axon/ whatever the next name is cameras are going to be not only getting your license plate, they're going to be doing facial recognition. They're going to be capturing audio. They're going to be capturing, they're going to be able to piece together everything you've done. And, I have a little bit of fondness for the cell phone companies that don't just release all of your information to the police the first time they ask for it. They make it difficult. And these flock cameras are going to bypass that because, your phone is the biggest bust.
Right. They can geo-target where you're at, what cell phone tower you're dinging from.
All day long.
Right.
They can put together where you've been all day long for the last couple of weeks with just your cell phone. But, but people can choose to leave their cell phone at home. They can turn off those location services, even though they still probably have that data somewhere.
Have a burner phone.
But at least you know what you're doing. You're into it. You've consented to it. We didn't consent to Flock or Axon cameras, and it is being used nefariously. It is being used as a dragnet. It is a violation of the Fourth Amendment the way they're using it, and so it's shameful. And we're not doing enough to protect ourselves. And it all started from the Patriot Act. We have given up so many freedoms in the last 25 years.
The Patriot Act, people don't realize they passed that through in the middle of the night. I forget how many thousands.
They renew it.
Yeah.
They keep renewing it.
Oh, they do.
Oh, it expired several
got
times.
A sunset on it, and they keep extending it.
Yeah.
To our cover story and the growing concerns over your privacy and public safety.
This is in our own backyard, Pasco County, which is where we are currently.
Yes. It's over those license plate reading cameras, and there's growing concerns over people misusing the technology for personal and potentially criminal reasons. But as our Pasco County reporter Eric Waxler reports tonight, local law enforcement officials stand behind them and are doubling down.
Public records show the Pasco Sheriff's Office submitted permitting plans for license plate reader cameras at spots along the State Road 54 corridor. That's from Newport Richie to Wesley Chapel. But Under Sheriff Chase Daniels tells me cameras are not being added. Instead, they're replacing existing Flock cameras with cameras made by Axon.
We have an existing.
Again, Lummy, it's just exactly what you said.
Yeah. Bait and switch.
We're deflocking, but we're Axoning.
Yeah. Agreement with Axon, they actually provide our body-worn cameras, our tasers, and our evidence management system. So on top of
this is the undersheriff that works under Chris Knockout. This guy,
yeah, great guy.
Jesus.
Of them.
And by the way, Knocko's stepping down.
Is he?
Yeah.
Does that mean this guy?
I don't know. I hope not. Man.
Easier or being easier in integrating with our.
Knocko is a stud.
I love Knocko.
Absolutely a stud. He is completely opposite of this guy. This guy looks like a pussy. But Knocko is like a man's man.
He's a football player in college.
I think he played for Delaware or
it was
somewhere.
Delaware. I think it was Delaware.
I think he was an offensive tackle.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he's a big dude.
6'6" at least.
And like Hollywood good looks. Like
super good looking guy.
Good looking dude. Like a good looking man's man. And you got Chris, I don't know if this is going to get back to you. With all due respect, Mr. Sheriff, you need somebody as rugged as you are, or at least a notch down, not 52 notches down,
Well,
to be your guy, your under guy.
We're in luck. Looks like Ron DeSantis is going to be.
No, Ron DeSantis only appoints who Naco tells him to.
Well,
Naco tells DeSantis, here's the short list of people that can take over the agency.
Oh, no.
That's how it works. That's what Cal Henderson did for that's what David G did for Chronister, and that's what Jim Rice did for Bob Gutierrez.
Oh, it looks like, by the way, this Chase Daniel said he's come out and said that
he's come out. Oh,
no,
really?
No.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He doesn't want to be sheriff. He wants to be part of the community outreach.
Oh,
operations.
fantastic! Then we have no problems. I don't want this guy being my sheriff. I mean, it's kind of tough going from Naco to the next guy, because how do you out, Naco's like the ultimate, stud.
And then we get this guy.
Why don't they make you sheriff?
They should.
Existing systems. They're also about $50,000 a year cheaper than the flock cameras that we currently have.
The sheriff's office now has about 60 cameras county-wide with APLR, or automatic license plate recognition technology. The cameras capture vehicles and license plates, helping deputies look for cars connected to crimes or missing people. But they've also raised nationwide concerns about
There's also been some cops that have went and tracked down their ex-girlfriend or ex-wife and who they're blasted nowadays. Mm-hmm. They get a complete report as to where she was, when she was, and how often she did it, and then they go and kill her. I think there's been a couple of those incidences.
Of seeing how that data is used.
We do understand the privacy concerns, and we are certainly very cognitive of that, and we've adopted policies that protect that.
Those policies include holding the data for just 30 days and only using the information for specific kinds of cases, like missing persons or felonies. Jeff Cannon has made researching the cameras his hobby.
And I think now people are starting.
Man, this guy needs a cheeseburger or 10.
Yeah, and another hobby.
God.
That's his big hobby, is like.
Yeah, his hobby is tracking down who's tracking down, you're tracking it down.
Finally starting to wake up to the fact that these tag reader cameras store information that can be used beyond the agreement that we have with the sheriff's office.
He points to language in Pasco's flock agreement that he says raises questions about the use of data.
So right there in their agreement, they're giving flock the permission to use that data.
I've seen enough. It's all a big shiz show.
Well, I'll say this. I've seen a lot of these recently. We're driving around.
You mean the Exxon?
Well, no, the cars, the undercover cars they're using.
Oh, yeah.
The unmarked. They have flock cameras. And
they'll go through like a Walmart or a Target.
Yeah, these are driving all around now.
They go through a parking lot.
Oh, my God, look at all those cameras.
Yeah, they go through a parking lot, Dan, and they read
everything.
Like Publix and just any place, any gathering, movie theater, Raymond James at a football game, any place where there's a large gathering of people, from a mall to a restaurant to a sporting event, and they just drive up and down the rows, and it hits on either vehicles that are the towing companies have these, but they're for people that are behind on their 3 months behind on their payment, and the bank has put out a bolo on to pick that car up as a repo. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah, so the towing companies, they have these installed on their flatbeds. Not all of them, a select few. And the bank sends them, data as to license plate numbers that need to be repoed because the people are behind on payments. And so they drive through various, other parking lots, Walmarts, what have you. And if your car comes up, repo it, you hook it. And I think it pays like $750.
Really?
Yeah, I think you get like $500 or $750 from the bank, right? And then you get the whole big, you get to store that vehicle in your impound yard. And we know how that goes. When you go to, after you've settled up with the bank, if indeed you even get your car back, after you settle up with the bank, you have to go to the impound yard, and they can charge like up to, $100 to $150 a day to have your car under lock and key. And boy, these impound yards look like they're penitentiaries. Like they got barbed wire and 8-foot fences and gates.
People try to break in and bust their cars out.
Exactly. So this is twofold. This is not only for the bad guys that might have a warrant out for them or something associated bad with their license plate, but this is also from people whose cars are, they're looking for working with the bank with regards to repossession. And when I know a smaller wrecker service, Lummy, and he gets about 3 of these a day.
Really?
Yeah, along with his
That's
other
not bad.
Yeah, he gets about 3 or 4 a day. He just drives through these, various places and he gets 3 or 4 hits a day. Here is
Look at it right here.
These are the new Axon, right?
Yes.
Look at that.
Now, if you had a BB gun or a pellet gun and you took out that, it would probably be like destroying government property or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's a crime.
Yeah.
It's like it has a telephoto and a wide-angle lens, and then at the bottom, you got the motion.
But Dan's right. We've done it to ourselves. We opened up our lives by having cell phone footage, by being able to record anything we can, if right there in your own hand, or the Ring and the Blink and all the systems that we have as private citizens has just paved the way for now our municipalities to spy on us.
Sensor right there. So,
and Lummy, you're right. You can just strap these things on with a couple of what are those things called?
Like metal zip ties?
Yeah, no, those are called. I forget what they're called.
This guy
hose clamps. You just got to get some big industrial size hose clamps. That's all these are. You could buy these at Home Depot, right?
Yeah, and then like the solar light that's up there. I mean, you don't know if it's power in the light lamp or the camera.
I is definitely looking at people. This is the very first one in Florida that I've found. I'm gonna walk around to the back and show you this.
Look at just 2 big hose.
That's wild. The whole thing, they got another, it's like the compute box like they have there, the solar panel. And at the bottom it says, what does that say on there? Maybe you guys can read it.
That's probably where they put the USB. Do you think, Lemmy, they got like a USB card?
Well, I think they're going right to that hard drive that's underneath the solar.
An SD card or something like
Yeah.
that? Hello, you're on the air. Go ahead, quickly.
You speaking to me, Bubba?
Yes, I'm speaking to you, my friend.
FTE, South Central Virginia. Look, y'all all worried about the flock cameras or cameras in general. You're missing the big picture. The new systems out are doing digital DNA. They read every device that's in your vehicle, your Bluetooth headphone, your telephone, your stereo, the whole 9 yards. They don't need to track your face or your license plate. They'll track you by your devices nowadays.
Like you being on the road, or like you being an over-the-road trucker, are you seeing all these, these detection devices on? Because they usually throw them up on highways a lot of times to test them. Are you seeing all this stuff? Like, is this different than the Axon stuff?
Years, Bubba. Stuff is 15, 16 years old. It started in small increments, and it's larger than anybody can ever imagine. Any given corner in the city of Tampa, they can trace you by your devices.
I heard that in some toll, now they don't have toll booths anymore because they're eliminating those and they just can read the Sun Pass. But there are some toll readers that can detect the blue strip on the $100 bill, and they can determine how many $100 bills you have in your car. Now that sounds way conspiracy theory, but I heard, Lummy, and I heard that there's. Have you heard about that, sir?
You're correct on the $100 bill readers. That many years. They can do that at a stationary device. They also have handheld devices they can use like a radar gun in a police car.
And they can detect, like, if you got a trunk full of $100 bills.
Correct.
Wow. Hey, man, I appreciate you listening, Full Trucker Effect, Virginia style. Appreciate you, Mike, my friend.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, yeah,
That's insane.
Nobody's ever heard of it. I just saw that, like, on a podcast. It was this drug dealer, and his buddy was taking, like, $50,000 in $100 bills from like Maryland to Maine. He was actually moving to Maine, and he had like $50,000 in cash savings, which isn't really that outlandish for a guy that's 50-some years old that's been working all of his life and he's able to put aside a little bit of cash. That's not necessarily, Dan, unreasonable. A person could have that. That's not. It doesn't make you necessarily a drug dealer.
No, not at all.
And the guy owned his own electrical company and was actually he was in his electrical van and he had like his buddy follow him because he had 2 vans and he had like $50,000 in a suitcase and he was going to Maine and taking, all of his electrical stuff. He had a warehouse up there, and he was moving all of his electrical stuff first, then was going to move. Well, his electrical company had his big safe, and that's where he kept this money. And he goes through this toll booth, going right into Maine, and a mile up the road, the cops pulled him over and said, where is your large amount of $100 bills? And he's like, how would you? The toll reader, a mile up the road, not only did you pay a toll, but it also read and detected that you had a large amount of $100 bills. And so,
that's freaky.
And what's the threshold of having too much where they pull you over, or just having, is it 20 grand? And they don't really, at what determines what amount gets you pulled over? And man, talk about really, really, really violating, us as Americans, where now you're going to monitor how much cash we carry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'd be indignant if they pulled me over and asked about that. I would be grossly indignant. I would be so pissed off.
And the guy was actually, the cop let him go because the guy said, listen, the guy behind me has the same type, because when the one electrical truck pulled over, the guy that was following him pulled over too. So I guess he told the cop, listen, I'm moving my electrical company from Maryland to Maine. Here's my address in Maine where my warehouse is. This is my operating capital or my savings. And I guess the cop believed his story and said it wouldn't be unreasonable for that guy to have $50,000 in cash. He searched the trucks. The dogs came. There were no drugs in it and what have you. But the reason for the stop was not speeding, not a taillight out, nothing. The toll detector detected that you had that you had a large sum of $100 bills.
It's an illegal stop.
You think it is?
Absolutely.
Well, I mean,
that's a Fourth Amendment violation. He didn't commit a crime. Just because you have cash on you is not a crime.
What I'm saying is,
it's illegal.
Is it illegal?
Yes.
Hold on, but is it illegal for the state to even have that device? Meaning, okay, if they got the information from the device, and indeed the guy did have 50 grand on him, I realize that is maybe illegal in itself, but is having the device that detects the $100 bills on the state level, is that also illegal? One would argue, right?
I believe it is. I believe it's a constitutional violation of your Fourth Amendment, and it's wrong to scan everyone and then determine who made a crime and who didn't make a crime. That's what you can't do. We can't do that in America.
Especially when the prerequisite of pulling you over was the fact that you have a large sum of money on you that you've obtained legally. Now listen, if they had found the $50,000 in cash along with 4 kilos, well then
different game.
But even then, one would maybe say, fruits of a poisonous tree, right, Dan? At that point,
yeah, you pulled me over because of cash. That's not illegal.
Sicilian Redneck, $20.
Appreciate it. When we return, the Tupac Shakur murder trial is happening in Vegas as we speak. They actually got a guy that they think killed Tupac, and Suge Knight may end up testifying as well. But they're saying the guy that they got, they're not going to be able to get any information because he's straight creed. I don't know that they're going to get. And what data do they have on this guy? Do they have any data on the guy?
He's been bragging about being part of it.
Didn't he write a book?
And talked on podcasts and stuff. He's been bragging about it the whole time. But what's crazy about it, when I read all the show prep, is that Tupac himself knew who shot him and didn't tell the cops.
Yeah.
For real?
Yep.
Yeah, there's a detective that testified yesterday.
So are we going to get that?
Mm-hmm.
Is that part of this? The story or the next one?
It's probably the next one.
The TMZ one?
Yes.
So should I play the TMZ one first? This one right here?
Yeah, that's what Dan's
So
talking about.
he
there.
didn't die right away, Dan. He was in the hospital, right?
Yeah, he was
And
and in the ambulance. He said that he knew who shot him, but he wasn't going to say because he was going to take care of it himself. Just didn't get a chance to.
Street cred, right? We'll do that next.
I began to hallucinate and thought a houseplant was talking to me.
Prescription medication.
Oh, man.
Prescription medication.
Rare delicacy.
It takes a lot of great prescription medication to make the show sound this mediocre. Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Dan, did you hear about, and you're going to go off on it because I know that you fly a lot and you deal with these fucking woke-ass fucking flight attendants who think they're fucking God.
They are, because
and they have these fucking, so this fucking bitch, no, this fucking dude said that Terrell tapped him on the shoulder to ask for more ice.
Who did?
Terrell Davis, the Hall of Famer, ex-Bronco. Good dude, has a family. He was traveling with his family, 3 kids and his wife, to wherever. And the male flight attendant kind of was like, had moved the beverage cart down a row from him behind him. And so he put his hand up and he gently tapped the guy on the shoulder and asked him if he could may I please have some more ice. The guy flipped the fuck out. The flight attendant flipped the fuck out, went to the front, made a big deal. Terrell Davis doesn't think there's really anything going on, like whatever. Flight goes on as normal. The male flight attendant never returns. I guess he's emotionally tore up. And so when they land, the FBI comes and arrests Terrell Davis for assaulting a flight attendant, and it's just unfucking believable. And Terrell Davis never has been in trouble for anything. He's a really good dude. He's not some fucking Antonio Brown or some loudmouth motherfucker. Presents himself well. Here is this is him and his wife on Good Morning America, telling the story. There's his wife, that's him and his wife. And so now United's in this big fucking whodunit because you done fucked with the wrong guy, and he's going out and telling his story. And it is fucking horrible that these flight attendants, you can touch them politely on the shoulder, ask for more ice, and they call the FBI to arrest you for harassing the flight attendant.
Fuck that. The other thing is, by the way, a battery is not just a touching, it's an offensive touching.
Right.
So patting someone on their shoulder to say congratulations or tapping someone to say, excuse me, can you please get me some more ice? Right. Is not an offensive touching.
No.
So,
yeah, well, this comes from them giving way too much power to these fucking flight attendants.
Well, dude, that guy,
Miguel?
Remember when I came back from Jersey?
Miguel?
Yeah, Miguel.
Yeah.
Was going to get me arrested for just telling him to shut the fuck up and stop talking.
Yeah, verbally tell them. Verbally.
Yeah, I offered him $20. Here's $20 to shut the fuck up and stop talking.
Ah, that's a pit move.
He's going to arrest me. Fuck you.
I don't got $20 to tell somebody to shut up.
I'll arrest you, big boy.
I'm not blowing a 20 on somebody.
Fuck no.
20s are still important to me.
Important to me. Dr. Dan doesn't carry 20, so.
The only consolation is that now that Spirit's shut down, that Miguel is literally sucking dick for beer money.
No, Dr. Dan, your fight's today. Where's that 20? True, Jay. It's lucky that Dan didn't get arrested.
Yeah. Good luck arresting me on that one.
Hey, it's Bubba. Big Gus has already found all the salespeople he needs. He's already found the technicians he needs. Now he just needs you to come by your Mahindra, your Coyote, your Skag, your Steel. It doesn't matter. They got it. Tractor packages, zero-turn bundles, financing, parts. And it's all located at 1490 US 98 West, Mary Esther. More information, you can always go to BigGusTractor.com. Tell the Bubba Army.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show, listener supported via PayPal, Venmo and Cash App, all at the Bubba Army, now returns.
Thank you to everybody that has gone and subscribed to the Deadly Intentions podcast with me and Pete Rossini. I think this Thursday at 10 o'clock is a must listen. I've been previewing it for quite a while. I'm excited. I didn't interrupt Pete. I didn't say right, like 87 times. I think they got people that count it. And I think that's going to be, as much as you may not be into the drug cartel or serial killers, everybody is somewhat interested in where this Iranian situation is going. Maybe you're not as interested into the history as to how we got there, but I think most people are, because I don't know that we necessarily have been correctly informed as to how we got into this particular situation, and how do we get out of it. And it's looking like it's not nearly as easy as it's been somewhat, I think initially it was 4 days, 96 hours is what some of the data that I heard is that they were saying this was going to be a 4-day, 96-hour mission. And what are we now? Month 6? Month 3? Month 5? When we start?
Month 5.
Yeah. 5th month.
Yeah, Russia thought they were going to just roll over Ukraine, too.
And they were, until we got involved, until we started sending all of our a lot of our weapon and some of our military subcontractors that are now private citizens to go and blow off some of these new weapons that we've given Ukraine. So I don't know what the title of the podcast is going to be that drops at 10 o'clock on Thursday on the Deadly Intentions on the Deadly Intentions show podcast. Do we know what the title is? What's really happened in Iran? The Iranian War Breakdown, Part 1, whatever you and you and Gary run through AI to say that's going to be the most optimal with regards to getting people's attention. The Tupac Shakur trial has begun in Vegas. And a detective or a police officer yesterday, it's my understanding, testified that before Tupac died, he told the guy, "I know who killed me," but he wouldn't tell the guys who it was, and he died because I think, what did he say to the guy? He's going to take Tupac, or is going to handle it on the streets.
He doesn't snitch. He's going to take care of it.
What's your responsibility as it relates to Mr. Shakur as the EMT is working on?
I was trying to talk to him to find out what had happened. Excuse me. Gather.
Is this the detective or the cop?
The cop, yeah.
Information to see who had fired at them.
Did you wind up riding anywhere with Mr. Shakur?
Yes, I rode to the hospital in the ambulance with him.
During that time period, between the time you get to Mr. Shakur and the time period he gets taken into the hospital, are you able to have any sort of communication with Mr. Shakur?
He was still talking, and I was trying to I was trying to convince him to tell me the name of whoever his assailants were.
And did he ever respond?
Yes, he responded, no, we'll take care of it. So, something like that.
No, we'll take
care of it, something like that.
And that's the only thing you were able to gather from Mr. Shakur?
Yeah, I couldn't get him to talk to me any further than that. That was repeated a couple of times.
So that's the story. And then it gets into this.
That the trial begins today.
Now, let me, Suge Knight was that Tupac's guy?
Yes. Yeah.
And then Biggie Smalls was the New York, it was East Coast, West Coast.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And Tupac was considered West Coast. Biggie was East Coast. Biggie was was P. Daddy's guy. And Tupac was Suge Knight's guy. I think that's kind of how it all scored out, isn't it?
Yes.
For the murder.
And Suge Knight's in prison, I think, is for the rest of his life, or...
I think so.
I think, yeah. Because,
for what?
Now, well, the latest... Suge Knight's been in and out of prison his entire career, and he finally got out, and then he flipped out. He was like trying to go somewhere or something, and there was like a bunch of people standing in the driveway or something like that, and he just gassed up his truck.
Oh, I remember that.
And ran over a guy.
Yeah, I remember that.
And that's what he's in prison for now, and I think that's because of 2 strikes and you're out, or 10, 20 life or whatever. I think potentially, will you get me the Suge Knight potential, like how long's he in for?
28 years.
28 years.
He was charged with first-degree murder.
So does he have a release date?
October 2034.
34?
Yes.
How old is he now? Is he going to make it? He could. 34 is only 7 years from now.
6 years.
And maybe with good time and everything, right?
Yeah, he might get out of it.
Murder of rap star Tupac Shakur.
He's
Prosecutors
61.
say
He's 61.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not going to live that good of a life, right? Let's say he's probably maybe 4 or 5 years at the best, maybe getting some game time. I don't know. Puts him at 65. I don't know, Dan, he could live another 15 years, right?
Oh, yeah. He's a little heavy, though, isn't he?
No, probably not in prison.
True.
Duane Keffe D. Davis orchestrated the 1990.
Now, is that Suge Knight right there?
No, that's the guy.
Oh, that's the guy that's been writing these books and going on podcasts and stuff saying, now, is he saying that he did it, or is he saying he knows who did it?
I think he's the one who said that he set up everything.
Prosecutors say Duane Keffe D. Davis orchestrated the 1996 killing in Las Vegas. Davis has been charged with murder, and so far he has pled not guilty. Want to bring in celebrity attorney Chris Melcher.
So, Dan, it looks like the authorities have enough evidence, or at least are in a fishing expedition to have charged him with murder, right?
Mm-hmm. Conspiracy.
For more on this story. So, Chris, just take us back a little bit. Remind us of how we got here. What happened that night? Why has it taken almost 3 decades to go to trial?
Well, none of the witnesses said they saw anything. So this was a drive-by shooting.
Didn't a guy drive and die too? Or is only Tupac dead?
I thought only Tupac died.
Maybe I think Suge Knight was driving, wasn't he?
Yeah, he got shot.
Far into another, and everyone that was there said, "Hey, we didn't see anything," and so that's why it's taken so long. And then finally, we have the defendant, Keffe D, who's given multiple statements implicating himself, and the prosecution decided, well, hey, if he's going to own up to this crime, we're going to prosecute him.
So the prosecution...
What an idiot. Some guy, trying to sell books and be Johnny Big Shot on podcasts, has pretty much implicated himself right into jail, right? If you kept your mouth shut, probably none of this would be happening.
Is expected to use his own account of the killing, right? He wrote this book, and the book said, had a bunch of stuff in there, like he was in the car. And now we're hearing, he then later sort of told people that the stuff that he wrote in the book was not real. He was just using it to sell books. It was for entertainment purposes. Explain that.
Yeah. Come on, man. You can't have the best of both worlds. You can't make stuff up saying that you orchestrated one of the most high-profile cold case, files in America, for that matter. Try to be Johnny street cred on that deal, taking response. And how all that went down, but to sell some books for some shock value, what have you. But then, I don't really know. I was just talking out my ass.
Is that a legal leg to stand on, and how will the prosecution use that?
Well, Vlad, this is a really difficult situation where the defendant is the star witness for the prosecution, leaving then the defendant to say, well, you can't trust what I have to say. I lied in all those statements. I was trying.
So, Dan, hold on. The defendant is the star witness for the prosecution.
Right.
Is that's not very common, is it?
No.
Right. That's like
you need to get someone else.
That's almost reverse engineering it, isn't it? But not in a credible way.
Right.
To gain notoriety or make money. So I believe the jury is going to want corroboration or independent evidence establishing that Keffe D was responsible beyond his own words. And I'm waiting to see whether the prosecution has any of that evidence, because we haven't heard about that yet.
So do we know who might be on the prosecutor's witness list?
And what evidence besides this guy appearing on podcasts and writing books? As much as I want to throw the book at the guy, as much as I want to say you can't have the best of both worlds, and that is say I did it via book, but you really didn't. I don't know, Dan, necessarily if you were to absolutely, by the letter of the law, be able to convict the guy if you didn't have any evidence other than his bragging. Right? Like, wouldn't you need something of more substance than just his spoken word of being braggadocious?
But it's admissible because it's the defendant's words.
Okay.
And so it's not hearsay, it's an exception.
Who can they lean on?
Yeah, it's certainly not hearsay because you have the source, right? Like you have the source.
And he's the defendant, you know, he's the target. But again, a lot of juries, some guy could just start beating his chest and say, I shot JFK, and say it all day long and say it for 30 years. But, unless there's some other evidence of it, did he?
Yeah, I mean,
there's some fame and notoriety to brag as if you were the one that shot JFK, but it doesn't mean you did it.
Right.
I mean, again,
even
it's
if
30 years ago.
Now, hold on. Didn't OJ do a book that said, if I did it?
Yeah.
Didn't OJ do a book that said, if I did it?
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't able, because of double jeopardy reasons. Other than that, they may have, had this guy not been cleared of this particular murder, he probably couldn't have written that book, right, Dan? Because at that point, you're potentially giving them evidence, and you're, saying that you potentially did it. I guess maybe you're using wordsmith.
Well, once he was found not guilty criminally, he could say whatever he wanted.
He could have walked when he was found not guilty criminally. He could have walked out on the courthouse steps and said, "Man, I did it." I mean, I know he didn't. I know it, but then
he didn't say that.
But and listen, that's not what got. Remember, he got away criminal, but they got him. They hung him up. I mean, they rung him up civilly. Remember, Goldman's got like a $35 million, judgment against him. Remember that?
Yeah, I don't think they ever really got it though.
Well, there's
I think they get. I think they get a portion of his pension.
200 witnesses. The most interesting is Marion Suge Knight. He was the driver of the car that Tupac was in, also shot himself. So he would have been in a position to possibly have seen who was in that vehicle. But he gave a statement afterwards saying that he did not see who was in there. And also he is adamant that he does not want to be involved, and he won't give witness against anyone, even if it was the person who killed his friend. And I got to think if he's hauled into that court.
So, Dan, let me ask you a question. By the way, let me 843 Bubba, big, $100. 843 Bubba, thank you, my friend. Need it. So, Dan, let's say they get Suge Knight from prison in California to come over here and testify, and he says, I don't know. I didn't say nothing. I mean, it's not illegal for him to say that, right?
Yep. No, you can say that.
I mean, you can be like, I don't know. I didn't say anything. No. So, I mean, and that's what he's going to probably do, right?
Yeah, because these guys don't talk.
Right.
They're real soldiers.
I mean, they're real gangsters.
Right.
These guys are.
And if he doesn't appear, it's going to help the defense to sow some reasonable doubt.
I just wonder from a defense perspective, when you think about their strategy, what is it?
Now, Dan, this is criminal, so this is not civil. Civil, you got to be 50.0001, whereas when you're on criminal, It's beyond. It's like it's
99.999.
Yeah, you got to be 99.999. I don't know if they can get a 99.9er on this guy, right?
No.
Here.
The strategy is to say, hey, this happened a long time ago. We don't have any direct witnesses. There's no direct evidence to establish the statements. And the defendant made implicated himself to get notoriety, and we need something more to keep.
I mean, unless they got physical evidence. Yes, the guy going on podcasts and going on and writing a book and saying that he did it for the wow factor to sell some books. I would think that in itself could not get you convicted.
It could get them looking at you. It can get you into a trial, but it might not convict you.
I think the guy walks. No, I really do. I think the guy walks. So anyway, Dan has had, I saw this story. It's very lengthy. I'm not going to play it all. I'm just going to give you the paraphrase version of it all. But I will tell you, man, if I'm United Airlines, you got a problem on your hand. And I think this goes across the board with pretty much all airline agencies, where these flight attendants, and I'm not talking bad about flight attendants because I've never had really a bad issue. I've never had an issue with the flight attendant. I never have. Now Dan has, and obviously Terrell Davis, the former Bronco and NFL Hall of Famer, and not noted ever as being other than just a really good guy and football player. Terrell Davis has not been like an Antonio Brown or, some of these troublemakers.
Or Terrell Owens.
Adrian Peterson, some of these other famous football players that could potentially even be in the Hall of Fame that are problematic and loudmouths and get themselves in trouble and what have you. Terrell Davis has always been a really, gentleman, really buttoned up dude. He's got a great family. He's got 3 kids and a wife. And they were traveling on United. And, the flight attendant is a male. And Terrell's sitting in one section, 11. He's sitting in. I like the fact, Dan, he wasn't in first class. He was just riding back here with the regular folks. I like that. I think it looks, makes him look more normal and, not, ostentatious or whatever it's called. So he's sitting in 11, and he's got his 2 children. He's in the aisle, and he's got his 2 kids to his, in the middle, and the one against the seat. And then his wife is back a row, much like you would, try to kind of keep all your family together. His wife is back a row, and she's in the aisle, and her kid, the other child, the 3rd child, I think the daughter, is in the middle. So that's the configuration.
Try to get 5 first-class tickets on a flight, too.
Yeah, it is. So they're back there in coach, but they're all together,
Upgrade to coach.
She's one row behind him, and the beverage cart comes. And his 2 kids to his left on his row, they're playing on their iPads or something like that. They really aren't paying attention. And so the guy asks, do you want something to drink? Terrell Davis is reading like a magazine or a newspaper or something, and he at that point says, I think he's good. No. The kids, they had like headphones on. They didn't hear him. So once the kids finally realize that the beverage cart has passed them, and the guy now that works the beverage cart is just one position behind Terrell, just like right there, right on his right hand. And so one of the kids wants a cup of ice. So Terrell taps the gentleman on his shoulder, just taps him very nice, like. And his wife witnesses and everybody, like, it wasn't a big deal at all. You just tap the guy on the shoulder. The guy flips out, goes to the front, tells the captain, tells everybody else. But Terrell didn't think that there's really anything going on, like he didn't really know. The flight attendant sits down and refuses to work the rest of the flight. Beverage service ends, and they fly into their destination. And the next thing you know, they tell everybody to hold because we have like some type of emergency deboarding situation. They come up Terrell, they handcuff him. They don't even ask him, sir, do you know why we're here? Do you remember tapping the flight attendant on the shoulder? They don't even ask him anything like, what's your side of the story? Like, they just automatically slap cuffs on him and tell him, to head this way. And let me just tell a little. It's a 7-minute story, so I'm just gonna play parts of it.
So I was like, all right, whatever. So he asked me my order. I gave him my order. Again, kind of slams the drink down. And again, I'm thinking, well, what is going on with this guy? But whatever. As he gives me my drink, he starts to move the cart. And my son says, excuse me, might I have some ice?
All right, let me see. That's the way I reported it. Yeah.
And he obviously didn't hear my son ask for ice. So he moved the cart probably past my seat. And so my hand was up like, excuse me. And then I finally said, excuse me, can I get some ice? I just tapped him on the shoulder. He swings his arm back and said, don't hit me. And I'm like, dude, I didn't hit you. And then he rushed.
Now, mind you, this is Terrell Davis, Hall of Famer, former Bronco, in the Hall of Fame. I think won a Super Bowl or two. And nobody, listen, when I said the name Terrell Davis, nobody that's watching or listening to the show or will watch the show later today or anybody, nobody thinks of anything bad because Terrell Davis has not done anything. Like, he's never been in trouble. He's never been a loudmouth. He was just one hell of a running back. He was a wrecking machine. But you never heard anything, like you've never heard, like if this was Antonio Brown, you expect drama from Antonio Brown. This is a guy that's never been in trouble, beautiful wife, beautiful family, traveling in regular coach on United, headed on a family vacation with his kids and his wife.
He's up to the front of the plane. He leaves the cart right there. And a gentleman in front of me turns around and says, I saw everything. I saw that. Like why did you didn't hit him? I'm like, of course I didn't hit him. So as I'm sitting there on the plane, it was bizarre because he's up there for a couple of minutes. And again, I was like, whatever. So I started reading the magazine.
So you don't think anything of it?
Nothing of it. Yeah. He comes back. He puts the cup of ice on my son's tray. He then takes the cart and takes it back up to first class. And about 3 minutes later, another flight attendant takes over. She brings the cart down, starts servicing the area, and that's it. Mm-hmm. But then I don't see him for the rest of the flight.
But you don't see him for the rest of the flight.
And Dan, I'm just gonna tell you, I think Terrell Davis presents well too. I think he presents well. Like there's some people that I think with his wife by his side, I think he presents well. Comes across very credible.
I agree.
Comes across very credible, very gentlemanly. I think he bodes well.
What did you see when you landed? What did you hear and see once the plane had
that's
landed?
a different story. I mean, when we landed, they told everybody to remain in their seats because for whatever reason. And I thought it was a medical emergency. I fly a lot, so I've seen that before, where they say, stay in your seat, someone they need to tend to. And so I've seen that before. So, again, I'm just reading a magazine, and
here's the deal right here.
4 or 5 minutes pass, and then my head is down, and I can hear like the walkie-talkies. I hear a lot of the gear and wrestling of like you can hear when they come on, and everybody you can kind of hear like the awls or like you can hear people
the reactions
to them coming on.
Yeah.
When you say they coming on, who's coming on? The FBI?
FBI. Big FBI letters on the jackets.
Big as daylight. Can't miss it.
Yeah.
Okay.
FBI. I believe it was Orange County Sheriff Department. Guys with the green. I didn't know who they were at the time, but you can tell it was
law enforcement.
Mm-hmm. They walked up to him, slapped cuffs on him, like in a real like K5 type way. Yeah. Then told him what was going on. But they put cuffs on him, front facing cuffs on him, right there.
Without explaining to me why they were doing it, they walk up to me and the guy he whispers in my ear. He says, "Don't fight it," and he puts cuffs on me.
While he's still
I'm sitting down.
Dan, how irate, because you travel more than any of us, would you be flipped out, like unconsolable, if they'd done this to you?
Oh, I'd be pissed.
But he's still on the plane.
Everybody's on the plane.
In front of your kids.
Mm-hmm. He never introduced, acknowledged, or confirmed that it was Terrell.
Or say, hey, here's why. Here's what happened.
We're doing this, or
nothing.
Can I ask what happened? He just walked straight up to him and placed hands.
And what was it like for you, Tamiko, to see your husband in handcuffs?
And talk about embarrassing, right,
Yep.
Dan? I mean, so anyway, I guess here is the United statement.
Was the flight attendant white?
Yeah, well, the flight attendant was fired, but still.
Closely look into this matter and are reviewing their policies around incidents like this. They also say they have reached out to apologize.
This is clearly not the kind of travel experience we strive to provide. We have reached out to Mr. Davis's team to apologize and continue to discuss the issue with our with them. We have removed the flight attendant from duty while we are closely looking into this matter and reviewing our policies and incidents like this. This is, you know what this is? This is woke ass. The younger woke ass generation that wants to feel like they got power and can ruin somebody's life on a really much a
whim,
on a non-factor,
on a nothing. And you know, so he's going to get paid because they're already.
No, it's already been. They said they were going to do it, but it's been 2 years now, so I don't think it's going to.
You don't think he's still in the process of a lawsuit?
According to the lawyers, no.
Well, they probably settled.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Lummy?
Yeah, I'll probably trying to find if they settled, but it's
probably gonna be undisclosed.
Yeah,
I know that I would have if they had arrested me with the whole Miguel thing. I would definitely counter it with a civil case.
When we return, this next 911 call. This guy calls 911. He's a cop. He works for Las Vegas Metro Police Department, and he killed his entire family.
Oh.
And he told the 911 dispatch that by the time you get here, the entire house will be burned down and I'm killing myself.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then, Lummy, with the Clancy trial, you know, the Lindsay Clancy deal?
Yes.
She's raised almost $900,000 on GoFundMe. And now her supporters and everybody are like, the husband did it. The husband killed the kids and the husband threw her out the window.
Even though she admitted it.
Even though all the investigation showed differently. That's what they're going with now. And these housewives that, you know, are watching this, you know, gavel to gavel trial that's happening as we speak. A woman strangled all 3 of her kids and then jumped out the window, and now she's permanently paralyzed and on trial. Her name's Lindsay Clancy. And these Karen homemakers, these woke-ass Karen homemaker bitches have given $900,000 to her, and now the new defense is the husband did it. All that and more next.
Believe it or not.
Absolutely not.
Everything you heard about him has been toned down for easier public acceptance. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Home day, sure. Saturday a week ago.
I know they said they're behind because I've tried to buy a couple things from them.
You have to pay for it?
Yeah, it ain't much.
Depends on how long it is. But right now they're like, I think I'm in the queue. I'm 84, and that was a week and a half ago. There's 84 in front of me.
For what?
Calls and body cam stuff.
Whatever your requests are.
Yeah.
You just have a list of requests and they get to it. Can you add that to your list?
Yeah. Do you remember what time? Actually,
About 10
give
a.m.
an incident report. That's the best. That's gonna be the easiest thing.
I will get one today.
If you get an incident report,
I was in the
that would be the
ambulance.
quickest way to, because otherwise it's gonna be me going back. Yeah, with them.
TikTokers are posting reenactment videos of them hanging out the window to prove that Lindsay Clancy is innocent. This weekend I've seen 2 different women TikTokers are.
She's not paralyzed?
Oh, she is.
Zackos are snobs, which I think is a fucking dick name. Says he's not. She's not.
Oh, she's not.
I thought she was paralyzed.
But they said from the waist down.
That's paralyzed.
When they roll her in on a wheelchair.
What is the? Are they trying to say that the wheelchair's a prop and the bitch walks out of the fucking courtroom?
YouTube here.
Like either you're paralyzed or you're not.
Morning, everybody. Let me know if you can hear
It
me.
says according to this, she's still paralyzed from the waist down.
What up, Macho?
The prosecution rested without a
Yeah, I
single
got.
witness.
Okay, you got that
Hey,
right.
I got that right. Right there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I understand, trash guy.
What up, trash guy? Steve the grumpy old man. How you doing, buddy? Grip your lips. Dirt merchant. What up? Carly Hall, Danny fan. How's everybody doing? Bob Cook. Good
Dan,
morning, my friend.
I would hope that Terrell got some fucking money for that.
How you doing?
I would hope so.
Bright Farm. John's Island. What up? How you doing, Liz84? Dave Rock. Thuggish, Ruggish, Nerd. Berto Perez. What up? Cash 239. RZ Girl. How you doing? Dan's a beast. He's healing well. What up, Uncle Rucky? Ziggy 30. Big Johnson. What's up?
The spirit, but yeah.
Oh, spirit.
What up, White Ice Tea? How you doing, buddy? FTE Sam TX. What up? Dirt Merchant, you're always there, my friend. How you doing?
Oh, okay. I'll just go right to him.
Yep.
Jeff Schwartz, 8900. Good morning, Dan. Hope you're feeling well, buddy. What's going on, Gnarly Mess? Johnny K, Steel Slinger, good morning.
Fiber. Grant. I'm not really sure about that. I mean, I understand how it's been interpreted.
What's up,
But force reset triggers definitely make a gun.
What up, New York,
effectively
Greg?
automatic.
Bubba, be so proud of me. I put a red light up on my door outside and told all the construction workers,
That means they're less
don't
dangerous
bug
than
me,
the,
please.
Glock. What do they call the buttons on the Glock? The Glock button that makes it automatic.
What are those called?
What up, Ned's?
No,
His
they're
derps. I
called
didn't see you,
something.
buddy. You guys started coming at me quickly. Hope you're well. If I missed anybody else, I'm so sorry. What up, Mike from Mass? Tile Guru 7104. Good morning.
Those
Thanks for
devices that all the kids are putting on their all the bad guys are putting on their guns.
The Fire
switch.
Marshal
They call it
Biz-
The switch, yeah.
Good
Which
morning.
I think, man, as soon as you get pulled over with that, you're done. Like I think that's like having a silencer.
The chaos resumes. Bubba the Love Sponge. Listener supported at the Bubba Army on PayPal, Venmo, or Cash App.
Bubba, the Love Sponge. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I got Jay standing by. Hi, Jay.
Good morning. How are you?
Good, buddy.
How do I sound?
Perfect. Absolutely
Nice.
perfect. Thank
I
you
heard
so
Dan's
much.
thing about the Spirit Airlines guy, and I don't suggest Dan should have gone to jail. I'm just saying he's lucky. If that happened today, Dan may have had a little problem with Sergio or Demetrio or whatever that kid's name was.
Dan, you know
Miguel.
No, hold on, Dan. Let me.
Miguel.
Dan, and for those, I think we talked about it real time as it was happening, but
Yeah.
He made a song.
Refresh us. What happened? You know, was it a very much a Terrell? Well, no, it wasn't a Terrell Davis deal because he didn't get cuffed or anything like that. But maybe in today's, different breed of flight attendant, maybe that would have, caused you to get cuffed. Tell us what happened. It was on Spirit, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on Spirit. It was only a few years ago coming back from Jersey. And it was a very flashy, flamboyant, vocal, and attention-seeking black homosexual stewardess. Male flight attendant.
Okay. So and his name was Miguel.
Miguel. And we knew he was special because when he walked to the gate, he had like a scarf that like had a trail. He would flip it around like he was Superman, like it was his cape.
Okay.
So he also was so narcissistic
Oh, and when you get two narcissists together, that's like putting both ends
Oil
of
and water.
both ends of the magnet. They repel each other. You take the magnet and you know how the one side will stick, but then the other side wants to repel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wasn't competing with him because I don't think I'm in the same category as he
Dan,
is.
you're
but-
always competing with everybody at all times. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
I would compete with all the gay twinks.
Well, I'm just saying, Dan.
Was
I
this
mean,
man
if there's a competition to be had, Dan's not going to turn it down. Much like Lummy, we didn't get into the babyface deal.
No, we did not.
We got to get into that. Yeah.
Oh God.
Is this? Was he a
No,
light-skinned
hold on.
man?
Lummy, do you think
Medium.
you found him?
I think so. I mean, Howie Miguel's.
Is this him?
It's on your screen, Dr. Dan.
Right there.
I mean, it's a Miguel with.
This is Miguel.
No, that's not him. This guy was blacker and gayer looking.
Okay. All right. There you
Blacker
go.
and gayer.
All right. So give it.
And had longer hair.
Give us your.
Wasn't shaved.
Tell
He had,
us
like,
what
long hair.
happened.
So, when we got on the flight, the Spirit likes to talk. First of all, the flight attendants at Spirit like to talk a little bit. And so we get on the plane. He was the head flight attendant. And because that's what he gives. And he spoke for a long time.
Jay, help me out
I
here.
know. He's got to be careful.
Dan
Literally, be careful.
Yes.
Okay, I'll be careful.
Hold on. You said that you think you know the FCC guidelines.
Right. It was fleeting. It was fleeting. You're dwelling.
You don't.
You don't.
It was a fleeting comment.
That's why you're never going to have your own show.
Ever.
Continue.
And you should name him something like Damone.
It's still Miguel.
Whatever.
So he was a little loquacious, verbose,
We got it.
talkative,
No
going
more-
on the plane.
Okay.
And just adding, doubling the time you needed to talk. So towards the end of the flight, they like to push their credit cards. Spirit credit cards. You can get flight miles and all these other perks and stuff like that. So he goes on this literally like an 8-minute comedy routine that's not funny. And he keeps going on and on and on, and I'm near the maybe the back 2/3 of the plane, and so finally, and he's near the front of the plane. So finally, I walk up to the front bathroom. I have a $20 bill. I put it down next to him and say, "I'll give you $20 to just please stop." And I walk to the bathroom.
Man, that's kind of a dick move, Dan.
But I didn't touch him.
For those scoring
I
at home.
didn't yell at him. I didn't call him a name. I didn't threaten him. I offered him $20 to stop. I said, it's enough. I've heard enough. And I walk to the bathroom, and I come out of the bathroom, and he follows me all the way back to the seat and starts yelling at me like, I get you arrested. Just starts screaming at me the whole time.
Hold on.
That's where I'm saying you had if he'd called the FAA on you, they're going to defer to what that guy said. And if he merely said you were aggressive with him, then you were going to jail. And I'm not saying you deserved it. I'm just saying that was one of those really gray area fine lines where, you and Damone or whatever the hell the guy's name was, you were there. I mean, and you remember, Bubba, this was a time when Spirit let their stewardesses and stewards sing or tell a joke or do something that they thought would get the crowd involved, and it was stupid. I hated that part of those flights. So I completely
Southwest
understand.
does that too, where Southwest will have they'll have a flight
we don't
attendant
need to hear why you think you're funny.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, Dan, Miguel follows you back to your
And
seat.
threatens to have me arrested upon landing. And he was going to have, what do they call the air marshals? Yeah, the air marshals meet him at the gate and have me arrested. And I said, for what? He goes, you didn't even have a reason. I said, listen, dude, I'm on this. Meanwhile, now I'm in my seat, seat belted, and he's still yelling at me.
With your children.
With my children right next to me. And I'm like, okay. And then he stopped.
And that was it.
That was it. I did not get arrested. I didn't get put on a no-flying list. I'm still TSA pre-check.
You might want to just be careful.
It.
Yeah, you might want to just be careful. I'm just telling you.
Well, he ain't got no job now.
I can see why your brothers get nervous.
Yeah.
And Dan can't even fly from Jersey to Tampa without having a high spot.
That's walking on the wild side. He's almost there, Bubba. You see how close that is?
Oh,
That's just one little comment away from being cuffed.
Yeah, never lose your head.
So anyway, Lemmy, I don't know if this is old or this is new, but it got my attention yesterday. I'd never seen it. So if I'm getting bamboozled on a story, God forbid Richard Longwood will call me out. But, even old stories sometimes that nobody's ever heard of can be interesting nonetheless. An interesting story is an interesting story. And if I wasn't up to speed when this first came out, I found it yesterday and I wanted to play it. And it's very shocking. And it's not AI. And I did. Let me look back, and there is a report for this. So this is just like, this really took me back when I heard this.
Address of your emergency?
Hi, 1313 Esther Drive, Boulder City, Nevada.
Okay, and what phone number are you calling from?
259.
Which, by the way, I don't have to cut it out because this guy's dead now. But,
8979.
And what's the problem? Tell me exactly what happened.
My name is Hans Walters.
Mhm.
I work for Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. I just shot and killed my son, Max, and my wife, Michelle. And I killed her because she's in such chronic pain from her neck and back and on more medicines and she's not going to survive.
And indeed,
we were both seeing...
This is very old.
Yeah, 2013.
But I've never heard of this. So I'm playing it now. Yes, it's from 2013, but it is real. There's all types of reports about it. And it is literally one of the craziest 911 calls I've ever heard. So he gives his address.
On more medicines and she's not going to survive. And we were both seeing a therapist and a psychologist in Boulder City. His name is Jay Summers. And I feel terrible for doing it.
Okay, and
I don't have
you...
a choice out. Please don't interrupt me, please.
Sound like Dan if Dan was talking to 911. Please.
Hey, I've admitted to a double murder. Don't interrupt me.
I admitted to a triple murder. And the house is burning down. And the guy even says you're gonna hear the fire alarms behind me. Don't interrupt me, please. I gotta get my words in.
Okay.
I've also set the house.
And Dan, you can actually hear the alarms in the background.
Yeah. I've also set the house on fire. And if the fire department comes to my house, because there's a fire hydrant right in front of my house, I'm going to open fire on them. So I have to wait till the house is burning, and then I'm going to...
So is he saying he's going to shoot the fireman?
Yeah, if they try to put it out.
Shoot myself, okay?
Let me just go ahead and...
So I'm going to open fire on them. So I have to wait till the house is burning, and then I'm going to shoot myself, okay? So
okay,
I don't
sir.
ask me any questions. This is real. This isn't a joke. The fire alarms in the background is because I set the garage and the bedroom on fire. My wife's in the bedroom. I shot her in the head. My son, unfortunately, is in the living room watching Oswald, and I shot him in the head, too.
Jesus. Why?
And,
What?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
And, forgive me for my sins. Please don't call back. Thank you.
911, what's the...
Please don't call back. Thank you.
That's spooky.
Now...
What did the son do to deserve it? You know, the wife is sick and he's sick in the head. But what does the son do? Just sit there on the couch, wrong time, watching Oswald?
Yeah, he was just...
Don't watch Oswald.
Well, yeah. Jeez. I mean, why? I mean, if you're going to do something like that, why wouldn't you say, "Hey, son, you need to get the hell out of here"? Yeah. You need to get the hell. Like, what did he do?
Here's $20. Go to the store.
So, from what I can gather, there's this TikTok craze of people, women, girls that are like hanging out their windows trying to show that Lindsay Clancy could not have done what she, testified to doing, what they have, investigatively found out what she did. So here,
TikTokers are posting reenactment videos of them hanging out the window to prove that Lindsay Clancy is innocent. This weekend, I've seen two different women hanging out of their own windows. The first woman was hanging out of her two-story window after putting blue dish soap on her wrist to show where the stain should have been if Lindsay opened it.
Yeah.
That's our forensic investigator,
Yes.
Bubba, with the purple hair and the black fingernails.
Right. Now, this is Lisa. Is it Remy? She's a famous actress.
Rena.
Rena. Yeah. Lisa Rinna.
Rinna, yeah.
Is she the one that did... No, she's not the one that she left Scientology.
No.
That
This one was... she's like soap opera.
This is a soap opera chick?
And she was on Real Housewives.
And she's saying that her and her therapist now are saying that there's no way... Not that this bitch knows... It's not the investigative bureau that investigated this absolute horrible crime. Just because her and her therapist say this... But she's saying that there's no way Lindsay Clancy could have killed her kids because a woman would never strangle their kids. Well, Didn't Lindsay Clancy admit to doing it?
Yes.
Yes.
Here we go. All right.
Chit chat. All right, he did it. Patrick did it. Patrick's the one who did it. Not Lindsay. Patrick did it because,
How about pumping up those lips some more so you look like you got a butthole for a lip?
She has always had big lips.
Yeah. That's slander.
I also heard that women typically don't strangle. So awful to even say. But that is...
It's so awful to even think that somebody would do this, but God forbid you just, blindly start backing them based on... most normal women don't strangle anybody, including their kids, but bat crap crazy ones that jump out of the window and paralyze themselves because they were trying to kill themselves do.
Isn't what a woman would do. They don't strangle. I was actually in therapy today, and my therapist and I were talking about it, and I said, well, what do they do? She said, well, they poison, or I said, or drown them. Like, we literally had that conversation today.
See, I think this makes people hate this bitch more than like her. Like, coming out with this polarizing and shocking of nonsense would not be good for your brand. Because I didn't have a problem with Lisa Rennie or whatever the hell. I don't have a problem with her until I saw this. Now I hate her.
Well, and if anyone watched the husband's testimony, it was stoic, it was poignant, it was compelling. It really was like unbelievable what he had to testify to. And so he deserves a Purple Heart for losing his children and having to testify against his ex-wife. This guy, there's zero evidence that this guy did anything, Bubba.
Can you see if there's any footage of of Patrick Clancy's testimony?
Yes.
And she looks at me and she goes, he did it. I was like, wow, yeah. And
Jay, this would be defamation slander, would it not?
This posting is right here.
Yeah.
100%.
Now,
I mean, even listen to this statement.
I mean, she goes, he did it.
So a licensed therapist.
And she looks at me and she goes, he did it. I was like, wow, yeah. And now, yeah.
I mean, this is almost like pitting genders against each other, where the women are now pulling for her. The men, who we don't necessarily aren't as crazy as women, we're just for the face value of the investigation and what has been testified to and what have you, we see it the way the state sees it, and that this crazy bitch choked out, strangled, and killed 3 of her kids as young as 8 months old, and then tried to kill herself by jumping out the window. It's not that complicated. And
two things can be right at the same time, Bubba. This can be a horribly tragic situation where she was over-medicated and she was in the middle of a postpartum psychosis, and she could have intentionally done this with malice aforethought by deliberately waiting for her husband to go out of town or out of the house and then choking them out one at a time. And so 2 things can be true at the same time. And so you can have sympathy for her in the sense that, yeah, she was over-medicated, but at the same time, she knew what she was doing. So like I said yesterday, she should not be found innocent. This should not be a justifiable homicide. She should be found crazy.
Right.
And she should go to prison for the rest of her life, because if she was capable of doing this,
but in a crazy prison.
Correct.
Like not necessarily a full-blown maximum security women's penitentiary, but instead of like maybe a cuckoo farm or something like that. Right.
And she knew right from wrong. And Dan will tell you this, that's why she jumped out the window. Because she had a guilty mind and a guilty conscience, because she just choked out her 3 infants and children when her husband left. And so what's tragic about it is maybe this was preventable if the children were not left alone with her.
I mean, and Jay, there's a lot of premeditatedness in this, in the fact that she knew that she couldn't do this type of behavior while her husband was there, so she sent him on an errand.
Right, and I
That's
think
all
there's
about
a medical malpractice case all over the place. Like you're saying, sometimes the criminal doesn't get it, and sometimes the civil does.
Right.
Like I don't know if there's a criminal case against these physicians who prescribe the medication, but if I were that guy, I would be seeking medical malpractice representation, and Danny and I would take that case 10 out of 10 times.
So there's the Musgrove Family Fund. They've raised $838,000. They're trying to get $2 million. And Amy Johnson says, "I wish I could hold you. I've suffered mental illness for around 30 years, and so many failed you and your babies, and failed all of us that suffers through this terrible illness, and still continuously do so. I'm terribly sorry." So we have people that are now. I understand you could sympathize with the woman because, again, she had a whole bunch of medications. She had postpartum depression. She had a lot of things going on that maybe a lot of us can't wrap our heads around. But, does that...
Well, and she was in the funny farm for 5 days, a couple weeks before she killed him.
Does that exonerate her from the actions of what she did? No. But it gives you a reason why she may have done it.
Bubba, the whole psychosis, too crazy to have committed the crime. You have to differentiate. There's three points I want to make here. First of all, the only time you can use a defense of medication is if the medication made you act involuntarily. So, like, if you were given, like, if someone nefariously gave you GHB, you passed out and you fell on someone and killed them, it's not your fault.
Because you were medicated. You
were medicated, and you did not take the medication voluntarily.
Right.
You take it voluntarily, then it becomes a negligence case civilly against the doctor, but not criminally against the doctor. Now, when people played insanity, insanity is not a defense against the crime. It's a defense against a traditional or conventional trial, because we are expected to have the wherewithal to participate in our defense. So if you're being crazy at the time of the crime isn't a defense. Being crazy at the time of the trial and being incapable of participating in your defense is a defense against a conventional. It's competency. It goes to competency. It's a defense against a conventional trial. So she could say that she was crazy the whole time. It's not a defense. She was found to be sane enough to participate in the trial and in her defense during the trial. So it's not going to be a defense against the crime.
Well, that's what they're trying to make it. They're trying to make it justifiable.
It's just not a defense.
Here we go.
It's not a defense.
This is her getting rolled in. She's paralyzed now. I don't know if this just shows the GoFundMe account and various. Yeah, it looks like. And then all these people.
She got the weirdest nose.
She does.
Nah, I think it broke up a little bit when she pie-faced.
You think, yeah, when she pie-faced herself, yeah.
You were taking off your boots and putting things down. Was there anything you noticed?
This is Patrick Clancy's, Lindsay Clancy's ex-husband, who had to stumble upon this whole scene upon running an errand directed by his wife. He gets back. She jumped out the back, so he didn't even see it in the front. He walks in, finds the 3 dead kids, and then her out back.
Yeah, the house is really quiet.
Is that unusual?
Yeah.
And when you realized it was really quiet, what did you do?
I called out.
And who did you call out to?
Everyone.
Did anyone answer?
No.
After you called out and no one answered, what did you do next?
I think I don't know the order, but I called down in the basement and no one answered. And then I called Lindsay to see if she was home, because I looked out and I couldn't see her car, but it's because it was dark and her car's black.
When you approached the basement door, do you remember if it was open or shut?
It was shut.
So did you open it and yell down?
Yeah.
And there was no response?
Correct.
You said you called Lindsay. Was that a phone call?
Yeah.
And was that at approximately 6:09 p.m.?
Yeah.
And did she answer?
No.
And Jay, I know you're familiar with this. There's no evidence and no law enforcement agency or nobody has even tried to say that this guy was the guy that did it. Like, nobody.
Well, I guarantee you they ruled him out.
Well, they're coming out because her DNA wasn't found on the exercise bands or the knife, but his DNA was found on the exercise bands. And I guess it looks like that he's married and has another kid. He was quickly getting married, and I guess that he might have been having an affair with this lady that he's now married to and had a kid.
That all does not look good at all.
But that didn't come out on the stand that he was having an affair. I mean, this is all the TikTok stuff, Bubba.
Oh, okay.
But I'm saying he is married, Jay. He is married.
No, I know
he does
he's
have
married.
a kid. And he got married
true.
6 months after.
But hold on now. I find it a little kabuki-ish. Maybe Dan can help us out here, that her DNA wasn't on the exercise bands, and that's what was used to kill the kids. And how would her DNA not be on there?
Lack of DNA doesn't prove anything.
Oh, okay.
Existence of DNA can prove that it was in someone's custody, but lack of DNA doesn't mean that you didn't touch it.
Okay.
After you called Lindsay and didn't get
She could have had gloves on, or
exactly.
I mean,
a response, what did you do next?
I started checking upstairs.
Like, Jay, has this guy been completely cleared? Like, they can't do like a reverse turnaround based on what's been on TikTok and,
No. They've already investigated. In order to prosecute this woman, you've got to rule out everybody else because you know that the defense is going to be the husband did it.
Right.
And so you know that they always start with the family member of who is deceased. They have her, she's all strung up from jumping out the window, but they've got to address his story and look at the consistencies or inconsistencies and see if what he says is true. He's talked so much about the months leading up to it and the prescriptions and everything, and he's found to be a credible witness. And so I understand the DNA thing. If you went on my exercise bands, the only DNA on my exercise bands are mine. And I don't care if anyone touched it today. They're not. It's going to be mine because my DNA is all over it.
He hasn't been cleared yet, according to the news. And also, as I guess, the fingerprints. Her fingerprints aren't on it, but his are on it. The knife and the exercise bands.
And he does have a motive. It does sound like he has a motive, and he has a weird affect when he's talking about his dead wife and dead kids. But again,
his wife and dead. She's paralyzed.
Well, I mean his paralyzed wife and dead kids.
Right.
But it's a tragic story. I don't know why she would admit to doing it if she didn't do it. I don't see a benefit for her to do that.
Right. Let's not forget that she admitted, boots on the ground as this happened, why they were investigating it. Probably,
She thought she may be dying.
Yeah.
It's missing on her deathbed.
She admitted to doing it all. Now, why the big, reverse end around, but maybe because of everybody, she sees all the support and money that's been brought in, and now you switch your story.
Well, the defense is not the husband did it. The defense is I did it, but I was crazy. So there's not even denying that she did it. And so we're here having a theoretical conversation about whether or not the husband did it or not when she's on a trial saying, I did it, but I was crazy.
Right. When indeed, that's not part of the proceedings. Him being a guy. When we return, I definitely need Jay's expertise on this. Judge delays Luigi Manjone's state murder trial after double jeopardy claim. So, this is way down your alley, Jay. I can't even really explain what I watched earlier, other than I'm going to need you to help me wade through it because I think they're saying, okay, he pled guilty federally. Now, does double jeopardy come in play on the state level? Some people are saying no, it does not. That would only apply to this murder being tried again federally. He pled guilty that would be double jeopardy on this particular incident, but do the state still have standing to go after him? So that's right down your alley, Jay. I'm going to need your expertise on that. Do that when we get back.
Automatic microphone shut off. Engage.
Why? What'd they do now?
Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
I thought the fat one didn't really talk that much.
Jeez, you got my hot mic.
Have a good day.
Bye, Danny.
To all those people that, are talking about whether or not it's him or her, don't you think her lawyer would say it was him? It's a much better defense than I did it, but I was crazy. I just think it's one of these things where social media goes crazy and people go down the rabbit hole. Scott Starboard, I could probably come up with good reasonable doubt. I'm sure there's a bunch of things that you can use that are, when you take them out of context or you argue them in a really persuasive way, people may be, persuaded by it. The lawyer who's defending her has an obligation to do the best he possibly can for her. So if that means try to blame the husband, you would think he would blame the husband. Yeah, anyone can be an expert. Jason, 2763. Car shenanigans. Uh-oh. Carly Hall, I would hope they would have investigated that thoroughly. If I were the defense lawyer, I'd be certainly arguing that as a primary defense. If that was a palatable, arguable defense, I had a good faith basis for it. Good morning, Grouper Lips. This microphone is the absolute bomb. Yeah, social media gives everyone a platform, and it just seems like the more outrageous your stance is, the more likely it is to get picked up by someone on YouTube or people like us that, want to comment on how crazy things are. I'll agree with you there too, Scott Starboard. Police do oftentimes screw up investigations, but I haven't heard that one either. That's one of the classic defenses in a murder trial. Like the OJ one, they botched the investigation.
Florida, and all across the great state of Florida. Listen up. When your business or home needs serious wiring done right, there's only one crew I trust, GPZ Cabling. They're Florida's premier low-voltage contractor, handling data cabling, fiber optics, Wi-Fi access points, audio and video systems, access control, and security cameras that actually work when you need them. From Orlando to Tampa, Jacksonville to the Keys, GPZ's got the whole state covered. And make sure you tell them Bubba sent you. You're going to get 20% off your install. Call GPZ Cabling today at 813-524-6794 or visit gpzcabling.com. GPZ Cabling, Florida's premier low-voltage contractor. Don't get wired up wrong, get wired up right. GPZ Cabling.
It's Bubba.
Now for a word of caution.
We now return to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Did you hear it?
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday, August 18th, 2026. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Don't forget to follow my Deadly Intentions new crime, drug, conspiracy stuff. Pete Rossini, my co-host. Excited for everybody to get this coming Thursday at 10 o'clock's download. I think everybody will be very much interested in that. This is the story that I saw today out of New York, and it's very much legal jargon and posturing that Jay will be able to brilliantly navigate us through.
So we are now learning that.
Now let's not forget, he already. I think you got to know this, or maybe they lay this out. But he pled federally. He pled guilty to killing the United CEO federally. So he pled federally. I don't know when he gets sentenced or what he pled to. Maybe this will lay it all out for
The sentence is scheduled December 18th.
So we are now learning that Luigi Mangioni's state murder trial will not happen in September as planned anymore, as his defense team tries to get that case thrown out. The judge is now giving prosecutors until October 9th to respond to a double jeopardy motion filed by the defense. Remember, last week, Mangioni pled guilty to federal charges related to the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Mangioni's attorneys say now that he's pled guilty in that case and admitted to shooting Thompson. He can't be tried in state court for the same crime. Mangioni has pled not guilty to the state charges. His next court appearance is...
And Jay, let me ask you a question. Like, what would it matter if the sentence potentially is life? Are you just trying to like better your chances on not getting 2 lives, or like what? Why would you even care about? Or does the state have something that is that could actually add more time and stop the potential of parole?
Well, obviously, the less convictions you have, the better your chances are of getting out some point in time. And so I don't know under the federal crime that he committed to whether or not there's a chance of getting out on parole some point in time. Here's the issue. The news sucks because they gave us zero information to make an informed decision on what's going on here. In federal court, he pled to stalking crimes. He did not plead guilty to murder.
All right, so he may not get that big of a deal, right? Like there might not be that much time for just stalking.
It's different than what he's been charged with in state court, and that's second-degree murder and gun charges, which he's pled not guilty to. Now, if you're being charged in 2 different jurisdictions, federal and state, and you say something in the federal jurisdiction, it can be used against you. So in admitting to this crime of stalking, he admitted to shooting him, to following him, shooting him, and now the lawyers in the state court are trying to say, well, you can't use those words against him because it's double jeopardy, it's the same crime. Well, it's not the same crime. One second-degree murder, and one is federal stalking. And so
it's not double jeopardy because it's not the same charge, right?
It should not be, but New York State, which is the state where he's being charged with second-degree murder and with gun possession, has very liberal.
And all bets are off with that state. You can't even predict what the hell. What's right might not be right there in New York.
Well, what you can predict is that it's a very liberal double jeopardy state. So will the trial court say, oh, these are similar enough that it is double jeopardy, or will someone have enough sack to say, no, these are completely different. These stand separately on different elements of the crime, and double jeopardy doesn't apply. Why would you federally do it? Because you're afraid of the states being wusses.
But here's the deal. If he could get this to go through, and get a judge to say that it was double jeopardy, then he could potentially get off on what the really, really bad crime is, which isn't stalking, which is second-degree homicide.
Second-degree murder and gun charges.
I don't know why I don't know why this wouldn't be considered a premeditated. Right?
It is premeditated, and that's what in his statement he explained what he did to stalk him, and he revealed in an email to United Healthcare leadership he posed as an investor who managed over 50 billion assets. He told the court he wrote the message in an effort to confirm the location of the investors conference that Thomas was attending on December 4th. He admitted to stalking him. He detailed his plan to kill Thompson, admitted that he fatally shot him. Mangione said he was motivated to carry out the killing because of his experience with the healthcare system. So while he's admitting to the federal stalking, which would be like, I tried to find out where he was. I did find out where he was. I went to where I found out where he was, and I did something terrible to him. Stalking.
Yeah.
That's different than murder.
Way different.
Now, in making those admissions, he's admitted to the crime of second-degree murder. He's really admitted to first-degree murder, which is premeditation. He thought about it ahead of time.
By the way, $20.
Thank you, Loving.
So I think that, what happens here, Bubba, is going to be up to the New York State Court. And
let's listen to the rest of the story here.
But not guilty to the state charges. His next court appearance is December 10th. I want to bring in Danny Savalas, who's been following this as well. Listen, there is no guarantee here, Danny, that the defense wins this motion. The Manhattan DA's office hasn't commented publicly, but how do we expect them to be preparing for this? And what case will they likely mount here?
So this is, Jay, it's my understanding that this guy is going to give us his opinion on how the state's going to posture or what they're going to come with, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's, yeah.
Their main argument, the Manhattan DA's office, they have to essentially argue that the federal crime of stalking resulting in murder and the New York murder statute combat different evils. And that's an uphill battle. And this is not the federal double jeopardy clause. This is New York State double jeopardy clause statute that is much broader than the federal double jeopardy, which is not even at play. It is settled law that these two sovereigns, these two kingdoms, the state and federal governments, can prosecute these two crimes. But Mangione has a very good chance of getting the murder charge thrown out, or I should say prevented from even being prosecuted. The firearms, for example.
Man, Jay, so this is what they're trying to get non-prosecutable, if you will. Mm-hmm. The really, really, really heavy stuff that you need for him to spend any time at all. Like, that's on the state side, right?
Mm-hmm. Their charges may not be thrown out, but yes, in the craziest set of circumstances, Mangione may never face murder charges for the crime he committed.
What are his chances here as you're taking a look at this thing, considering the trajectory they've taken so far as his defense team?
Very good, but it's not without risk. I mean, this was a massive risk. When you consider it, he marched into federal court and admitted to killing the victim. So if this bid doesn't work to get this, to prevent the New York prosecution from going forward, then he's pretty much sunk because he's already admitted to the crime. So there's going to be very little of even a trial left to have if the court allows the trial to go forward. But there's no surprise that that trial date was pushed out. They have to decide this motion, and it's going to take months, maybe even years. Yasmin, we talk about this.
Now, Jay, is there a federal judge that makes this call, or is it a state judge that makes this call?
This is a state judge decision, which is what they were talking about before. This is out of the federal court's hands now because they've already accepted his plea.
Right.
The only thing left for the federal court's going to be sentencing. Did you notice, though, Bubba, that he didn't mention anything regarding the distinctions between the federal and the state crimes, which is important for people who are trying to analyze this to understand?
Yeah, I mean, like it makes it sound like there's a chance he could, through brilliant lawyering, potentially not have to face the worst charges.
Yep.
Which means he got away with it.
All the time. I'm always on the overside of the bet when it comes to a high-profile trial. It'll take longer than we expect. So don't be surprised if we're talking about this trial, if it is a trial, in more than a year from now.
Wow.
I agree with that.
Lummy, the actress, the very famous actress, what is it? Hayden Panettiere?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. And when you agree, that means I butchered it, and we're just trying to move along.
Hayden Panettiere.
I think now everybody is agreeing that it was potentially a heart attack induced by an overdose. And I think that they're now learning in the investigation that there was Narcan used preliminarily before even the emergency personnel. Just like we have we have an AED machine and Narcan here. Not that I hope we ever have to use either one of them.
Oh God, no.
But I mean,
I see it every time I pee.
But but Jay, here's the deal. Like, not that we ever, but would it better us and our position legally if somebody would fall out, like a guest or somebody would fall out, and we at least have those two things to try to help? I mean, it certainly can't hurt.
100%.
Right.
There's absolutely. I mean, having that is way overboard. You're not even required to have it as such a small little business that doesn't do anything in the health industry. You're not having people like exercising or exerting energy. So having all that's incredible. And I did notice when I looked in the box the other day that you had Narcan there, and I thought, this is a really smart care package you got there. And a little fire thing. You could, it's there all visible for everybody.
That's the merch crick, man. She got us all buttoned up. We got an AED machine, Narcan, fire extinguishers all throughout. Realistically, you only have to have an AED machine if you're a dentist, or a
surgical
facility, and they make some places where like boys club and girls club, and like big swimming pools open to the public. A lot of times they'll have those, but I don't think Jay, they're required by law. But a lot of places, just like me, I'm not required by law, but it's good to have. I mean, it's I think the AED machines we bought it used on eBay for like $450, and then bought a brand new battery for it, because that's what goes bad on them, for like another $50 or $100. And then the Narcan, I don't even know what Narcan costs, but we got some. So
you can go to Skid Row in LA and get some for free.
Yeah.
Going on to determine what caused the death of actress Hayden Panettiere. She was found dead yesterday in South Carolina following a 911 call. She was only 36 years old.
And Jay, to your point about how much they botched up the Hogan deal, I promise you they're going to be doing an autopsy, a toxicology report, a blood panel. They're going to absolutely do the most extensive, the coroner is going to do the most extensive autopsy, and this woman was about 1/1,000,000th as popular as Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Entertainment reporter George Pinocchio.
God, it just really shows you how bad the Pinellas County Medical Examiner and the city of Clearwater botched up the Hogan investigation. Oh my God. I don't know why there's not I don't know why there's not a larger agency looking at this. I just don't understand.
Joining us with
the evidence is no longer there.
Stand right
the
now.
Autopsy
George.
wasn't done in a way that was timely, and like you said, Danny said, is for toxicology and for things to be most accurate, it's got to be done within a certain amount of time. And even if one was done, which we don't know if it was done, it was done so late that it would have very little, meaningful information as compared to.
They're saying the autopsy. They're saying the Hogan autopsy was done after they'd already drained his blood and he was full of formaldehyde. Now, what are you going to be? What are you going to be able to find there? I mean, maybe other than failure of organs, but at this point, all your organs have failed because you're dead.
It's a matter of great public importance. Like, we're sitting here spending days talking about Hayden Panettiere or whatever her last name is. I do sort of know who she was. I watched that show Heroes, but like we talked about before, Hogan was the third most recognizable face in the world.
For
20 years. In the whole world. It was Muhammad Ali, Gandhi, and Hulk.
And after Gandhi and Muhammad Ali croaked, it put T at number one.
So it's just mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Where things stand right now, George.
All right, Michelle, let's start with this. There are no signs.
You know what? It's called Scientology, my friends. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm stepping out. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm out.
The foul play or suspicious circumstances in Panettiere's death. Police in Greenville, South Carolina, say an unnamed acquaintance of the actress is the one who called 911. When paramedics arrived, they spent about 40 minutes doing advanced cardiac life support measures.
Man, this sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Panettiere could not be resuscitated.
What do you want?
She was the little football fan who acted opposite Denzel Washington in Remember the Titans. Hayden Panettiere was also doing soap operas at a young age, Guiding Light, and One Life to Live.
What are you hiding from us here, Vicky?
As she got older, we saw her on such shows as Ally McBeal, before she would star in her own shows, including Heroes.
This is Claire Bennett. That was attempt number 6.
And Nashville, where she brought out her singing skills. While Panettiere had a successful professional career, including a role in the Scream franchise.
Is this the mask he was wearing when he attacked?
It's gonna. I mean, Jay, they're gonna find out what she was on. I mean, if there was an overdose, which. Let me, that 911 call that we heard yesterday from the first responder said overdose. Yeah. Remember? Overdose.
If there's a handler, if there's somebody, the boyfriend is somebody who I think publicly stated that I'm not good for her because I believe, and I'm not going to quote exactly, I believe he suffered from some drug issues as well.
Well, they had a lot
He's
of
the guy that
problems,
called
too.
her in.
What's that, Lemmy?
They had a lot of issues. There was a lot of arrests, and they broke up multiple times. And he flew her in the day before she died.
Now, so she's not from Greenville?
No, she flew in. He was staying out there with his brother.
Okay, and where's
L.A.
She's okay, so she's L.A.
Yes.
She flew into Greenville with this on again, off again boyfriend that they've had some volatility. Maybe they were partying, like maybe they were partying and got a hold of what they thought was an oxy or a perk. Or a Vike or something like that. They're just, maybe having a few pain pills with some cocktails, which is usually a pretty good time.
Could be laced with fentanyl. You don't know what's going on.
Until that pill that you got, which you didn't get from CVS or Walgreens, is you got it illicitly from Guido down the street, and it's got fentanyl in it. And like I think that, Jay, it's my understanding, and you may know more than I, but I think that as soon as you take that and it starts kicking in, like it kills you. Like it literally shuts your respiratory system down, and it, like, I don't know that if it's Narcanable at that point or not. Like, I don't know.
Do you remember that video a couple of years ago where a female officer just came in contact with her fingers with fentanyl?
Yes, and she fell completely
was
out.
Falling out, and they gave her, I think, 2 or 3 doses of Narcan, and I believe she lived.
She did.
But yeah, the answer to your question is toxic. It can be immediate. It can be like, snort it, boop, you're out.
Yeah, or like
try to give Narcan, it doesn't work, and then you haul ass.
Or yeah.
Her personal life had taken a turn. After giving birth to her daughter in 2014, she battled postpartum depression. And as she wrote about in her recent memoir, This Is Me, A Reckoning, Panettiere also dealt with opioid and alcohol.
Jay, right there. I mean, we know. I mean, it just pretty much writes itself. She admittedly had alcohol and opioid problems. You mix those two, and like my good friend Test.
And you don't even need fentanyl at that point.
No. Alcohol and opiates have killed more wrestlers than any combination.
Addiction, as she candidly told Good Morning America earlier this year.
When you see a happy-go-lucky girl for years suddenly on the floor in a puddle of mess and alcohol, you got to know something's wrong.
She finally got treatment for her troubles.
I felt like I was walking blind, and there was nobody.
Here's what happened, Lemmy. She reconnected with her ex. Then I got these plans to meet in Greenville. He goes out and gets some party supplies.
Yep.
They are out partying a little bit, and you got something that was stepped on, and there's no. I mean, there comes a point where there's no turning back. I think if you've ingested enough of fentanyl, I don't know that Narcan can even save you.
That was really able to support me in the way that I needed to be supported. And I don't like to ask for help either. I want to be that strong, stoic woman.
Hayden's younger brother Jansen died 3.5 years ago. He was 28. In her memoir, she wrote,
I think he died of an overdose too.
No, enlarged heart.
Oh, he had an enlarged heart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Poor parents.
Yeah, think about that. Hayden Panettiere, death overdose evidence found on scene. Let me. That's the same kind of Narcan we got in our deal.
Oh, good.
I think
It
it's the same kind of Narcan we got.
I saw it. It looks very
Hayden
similar
Panettiere,
packaging.
you may have heard this already, 36 years old, died yesterday. And it appears that this may well have been a drug overdose.
Yeah, that there was certainly some drug use going on in the Green.
Man, she looks good as hell there with the boobies pushed together.
Yeah.
Nice.
She looks very healthy. It's got to be, a really toxic, blend of meds and alcohol to do this to her. Look how healthy she looks. She's not a sickly person.
No. Nice knockers, too.
South Carolina apartment where she was found. The call to 911, it was initially...
Yeah, it wasn't even like a resort. It was like an apartment complex.
Yeah, it was an Airbnb where the guy and his brother were staying.
For a woman suffering with cardiac arrest. But once officials got there...
And even on the dispatch call, they said it may have been an overdose.
Yes, first responders said that may have been an overdose.
Not a very luxurious backdrop to, a famous person dying. Usually, it'd be like a beach or a resort or something. And when she was on vacation, I said you got basically an empty apartment complex backdrop.
It's the view from the Airbnb. Lummy, do you have to disclose that if somebody died in your thing? Would you have to disclose that?
Oh, would you have to?
On Airbnb?
I don't think you do.
I don't think so.
I'd want to know that.
I would too.
That's why you don't have to.
Actually, it might make that place more popular, Jay, if for her fans to be like, hey man, rent this place out where your idol took her last breath and died.
This
Right?
country is so morbid that probably would sell.
It's usually $200 a night, but now it's $450 because it's where old girl took a lick.
Overdose, that they'd started CPR efforts, but they were not able to revive her. But there's something interesting about the response to this, though, because there were 2 ambulances sent there.
2 ambulances and ultimately a coroner's van. Now, the 2 ambulances are interesting because they wheeled stretchers in from each ambulance. But when they came out, there was nobody on either of those stretchers. The ambulances left. The coroner's van came.
Well, I mean, Jay, if you've been declared dead,
right?
Like, I don't know. I think the coroner's van is the next thing they're going to load you up in, because I don't think that they can take you to the hospital to revive you if you're dead on the scene. I don't know how big of a whodunit. Both ambulances left empty-handed and the coroner person stuck in, but that would be proper protocol, I think.
I agree with you.
But because there were 2 ambulances, it would seem that there were 2 people in distress.
Right.
Not necessarily. A lot of those dispatch the signals get crossed,
And as
they're trying to
that
speculate if the boyfriend was there.
Oh, yeah.
Person we don't know at this point, but we do know that that Hayden had traveled to South Carolina with her on-again.
Like Jay said, man, she looks good as hell there. Like, she looks very healthy, full of life and energy.
Yep.
Like, for her just to be dead
off-again boyfriend
at 36.
You want to hear a small world? So she spent majority of her summers, guess where?
Tampa.
No.
Ocean City?
Winona Lake, Indiana.
What?
Right down the street from Warsaw, Indiana.
Hold on, that's where I'm going next Tuesday.
Oh, there you go.
Hold on, she spent...
Her grandmother, every summer she would spend months in Winona Lake, Indiana. So it was her favorite city, and she wanted to retire there.
What a great summer life.
I did not. I'm going to have to look that. I'm going to run that down.
With her on-again, off-again boyfriend.
Let me see what her grandma's name is and see if we can find out where she lives. I can go by, maybe.
Yeah.
Friend Brian Hickerson
on Saturday.
On Saturday.
So they had just gotten to South Carolina, and somebody walked in. It may well have been Brian's brother, walked in and then saw the scene, and somebody called 911.
And our understanding is that Brian and his brother were both staying at this apartment, which would make sense as to why Hayden was there, knowing that she had arrived in South Carolina just the day before. Another really interesting thing that we've learned is Narcan was on the scene, which is used to revert.
The average
I don't travel
person,
with Narcan.
That's what I was getting ready to say. Like, the average person doesn't have Narcan the only reason I have it here is because we have, a whole bunch of different people that roll through here, sometimes guests and what have you. You never know. I'm just trying to be overly cautious. Not that anybody here has an opiate issue.
No, but my international travel packet does not include Narcan.
No.
Narcan.
And so I don't know why either she would have brought it or he would have had it, but I don't know why, if you're not going to be doing anything necessarily illicit, why would you, go out and get Narcan? Like if Jay and I were going to, if me and Erica and Candle and Jay were to go out to dinner on Friday, I'm not bringing any Narcan because I don't think
there's none in her purse.
I don't think that we need it. I don't think it's in play, to be honest with you. I mean, the little bit of wine the girls may drink and whatever, we don't need any Narcan.
Reverse the effects of a potential.
But when you bring Narcan to the party, then what's that intimating?
You're getting ready to party.
Yeah,
That's what that means.
You're
We're
getting
gonna
ready.
Party.
You're getting ready to have a full-blown rager, a full-blown opiate rager, and in case it gets away from you, we got some Narcan. But I think if you take too much fentanyl, that I don't even think Narcan can reverse it. And I think that's what happened.
Do you know a Leslie Vogel?
Leslie Vogel.
That's who they're from. They're former soap opera actresses that grew up in Winona Lake, Indiana.
No, I never knew. I'll have to ask. Run that by Larry. Larry knows everybody.
There you go.
Larry knows everything.
The brother and the ex or the boyfriend, I would be shocked if they're not the subject of an investigation at this very moment.
Oh, I
because
would
they're
say
the two
yes.
people that were in the residence or staying at the same residence within 24 hours of her. And so what she took, when she took it, who she got it from, all of that's on the board now, which is why that toxicology is so important, Bubba.
Much like that, much like Matthew Perry, they went and found out, the ketamine queen of L.A. supposedly, supplied his dealer with this stepped-on ketamine that killed him, and I think a couple different people might have gotten charged for Matthew Perry's death.
One of his handlers, as well as the ketamine queen.
When we return, man, to good old boy from Maricopa County, the sheriff. Remember, Lummy, for the longest time, it was this crazy guy, and he made all the prisoners wear pink, and they had like tents that if you were good, you could go and live inside the prison, but if you were bad, you have to live in the tent.
With pink jumpsuits. Right?
I think his name was Sheriff Joe. Sheriff Joe. He's since either dead or retired. But the new sheriff from Maricopa County, which I think is like the Phoenix area, somebody broke into the medical examiner's office last night and was having sex with dead bodies. Yeah, we'll do that next.
If you want 24/7 on-demand Bubba and the crew, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com.
Right now.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show will be back after this.
Whoever sold those drugs to that people are going to be hard to find.
What's up, Bulldog Tommy?
We were made to cut, and we were.
Joe Arpaio, that's right. Wally Palmer, didn't he make him wear pink jumpsuits too?
Just one day after fans at another day and another big mistake by the WNBA. Just one day after fans at a Fever versus Dream game said they were told by a security guard to cover their XXXY athletic shirts.
Real quick, guys, I'll be right back.
Statement saying it's aware of an incident where fans were told to cover their shirts and it shouldn't have happened. Well, it did happen, but it's progress because the W is admitting it's wrong. Maybe next time they'll even apologize for something like this. But for now, they're not. For now, they're probably just scrambling because this security guard threw a whole new log on the fire of this culture war that's overshadowed another day and another.
All right, Jay.
Thank you, Lummy.
Thank you. Bubba, here. I got a package for you. Where's it from? Hey, yo, Greg. Just in the middle of doing my shit. Yeah. Thank you, by the way. Another 10. Thank you, by the way. NorCal Mark, $50. You shouldn't be getting me. These things are so bad for my diet. What is it? Some candy? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not good. I mean, thank you.
They're good.
Too good. Bad.
Thank
good.
Rich Gosnell. That's what I thought. Believe it or not, Kroger's tea, they give it out at college. They make sure that fraternity houses have it, which blew me away when I learned that. But I guess it's probably responsible for a fraternity or somebody having a big party to have Narcan on hand in today's day and age where you don't know what kids are going to do. But you know if there's a big party at a fraternity, there's kids doing drugs. What up, Jay Bowler?
Shield your home with storm-resistant siding from Morgan Exteriors. Take advantage of our special this month. Get 20% off your project plus free installation. Choose from high-performance vinyl or fiber cement siding, built to stand up to Florida's toughest storms, heat, and humidity. Don't wait. Schedule your free consultation today to lock in savings. Visit MorganExteriorsInc.com now. That's MorganExteriorsInc.com. Morgan Exteriors, protecting Florida homes for over 30 years.
Listener supported at the Bubba Army on Venmo, PayPal, and Cash App.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
Back now to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Jediaco via Zoom in his auto conclave. What's up, Jake?
Not much, man. How you
He
doing?
sounds good. Jay's got it dialed in, my friends. Here is Maricopa County. I don't know how long this guy's been the sheriff, but for years it was Sheriff Joe. And he would make the prisoners of Maricopa County, which is basically, I think, Phoenix-ish, and maybe like the Plant City version of Phoenix, maybe outside of Phoenix a little bit. And he was no nonsense. Like he had what Lummy, was it 7 acres of fence?
7 acres, Tent City.
He had Tent City. So when you'd go to jail in Maricopa County, they'd put you first in the outside tent section, and if you didn't cause any problems or anything like that, you could graduate to being inside with the air. I bet you people behave themselves, right?
Yeah.
And they said one of the biggest problems was because it's in the middle of the desert, is that guys could hear rattlesnakes at night, going through the underneath your bunk bed and stuff. Yeah, can you imagine? I'd certainly take I'm a fat ass Lummy, and I'm usually a bottom bunk guy, but I think I'd take I'm afraid of snakes like you wouldn't believe.
Oh yeah. No thanks.
Here we go. So somebody broke into. Well, here I think it's pretty self-explanatory.
The deputies responded to that call, and they found an individual.
Again, this is in the right side only, right channel only.
That had broken into the medical examiner's office by breaking the glass, getting into the office area, then making his way down to where the medical examiner.
So if you'll see here, let me just think. This is the actual. They broke a pretty significant large piece of window glass, office glass, to get in there, to get into the medical examiner's area.
By breaking the glass, getting into the office area, then making his way down to where the medical examiner stores the bodies.
31-year-old Fenris Liu accused of breaking into the medical examiner's office on Wednesday morning and accused of multiple counts of sexual conduct with a dead body.
Now, different strokes for different folks, and people are all into different things, and really, it's really none of my business. And if you're over 18 and the person you're messing around with is over 18 and it's consensual, then have at it. Do what you got to do for the most part. But man, trying to have sex with dead bodies, man, you might need to go to the same funny farm as the Lindsay Clancy bitch. Like, you are not right. Mm-hmm. And I wonder what the penalty of necrophilia is. Like, is it substantial? Is it a misdemeanor? Is it a felony? Like, you know,
it should be.
I've never known of anybody to have been charged with that. And you don't, and I think it's super rare. But wasn't, like, Jay, isn't the ongoing wink, wink, nudge, nudge a lot of times, like, for people that are, what are they? They work at the funeral home. Morticians.
Class 4 felony for sexual conduct with a dead person.
So Class 4, is that Florida law?
This is for the
Arizona law. I don't know if Class 4 would be the equivalent to, what do we have, Jay? We have first, second, third degree. We actually measure our felonies in first, second, or third degree, don't we?
Yes.
I think so, yes. So here's the deal. Much like the Catholic priests world, for hundreds and hundreds of years, I think it's now been established. Now, Jay, I know you're Catholic. You may not want to necessarily talk about this, but I think you could see where there's evidence where there was, you know, within the priest, under the dark side of the priest world, there probably was a wink, wink, nudge, nudge back in.
For sure.
That, listen, if you were into kids or boys, be a priest. It's the perfect crime. Nobody's ever going to suspect, you know, and we can establish that did happen. Now, let's hope that it's not happening in today's world, but it did. That was the ongoing underlying Iggy.
Second degree felony in Florida.
Third degree?
Second degree.
Second degree.
Arizona, it's definitely a felony as well.
Yeah. So it's a second degree felony here?
Yes, it is, yes.
Now, Jay, is a first degree felony worse than a third degree felony?
Yes.
Okay, so that's how ours goes. It graduated. First degree is the worst, second, then third. So I wonder within the mortician world, and I've heard this, but I've never really commented on it or had any type of monologue about it or anything like that. But like within the and I hope that for the handful of morticians that maybe potentially are Bubba Army, or they like the show, or they listen to the show, or they like us in some way, shape, or form, please do not think that I'm trying to target you or accuse you of anything. I'm just kind of out loud thinking, within the mortician world, is there a lot of this that happens? Like, because realistically, if you're the mortician, I think only one funeral home or something like that. I think you only have one or two morticians. So it's always my understanding that they usually work alone. You know, morticians work alone, or maybe they have an assistant. But, you know, I wonder if the ongoing wink, wink, nudge, nudge, much like the priest community in the Catholic Church for years was to prey upon children. I wonder if in the mortician world there's a wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you like to have sex with dead bodies, then you become a mortician. Because you never hear of anybody breaking in. Like, this is the first, in all the years I've been doing content, this is the first time that I've ever seen somebody from outside of the mortician funeral home world actually break into the facility so they could start having sex with bodies. Like, you know, it's very rare, this whole world in itself. Is it called necrophilia?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the whole necrophilia world is very rare, but it's probably somewhat prevalent. And I wonder if in the mortician world, you know, like, hey, if you want to have sex with, you know.
I couldn't find anything. I just tried to research it real quick. And, you know, I don't know if that's because, you know, most morticians, it's like a family business.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of goes from generation to generation. It's like, you know, you and I aren't just going to go into the mortician business. We're not just going to become people that, embalm
it's had to be
and stuff.
handed down. Like, you know, Daddy Joe's grandpa was one, and then Daddy Joe was one, and then you, Steve, and Dan are one, and then Trey may be one, and little Danny might be one. It's completely generational. Absolutely.
So, these kids have been around death forever. And so, just looking online, you would think if what you said was true, there'd be lots of these cases. It doesn't look like there's a lot of these kind of situations where it's the actual morticians. I would say that looks very rare.
But here's the deal, Jay. I agree with you, potentially. But nobody would ever know. Like,
true.
Outside of, the family's not going to know. If you were to pull it off correctly and it's just you and that body that you're getting ready for a viewing or to cremate or whatever the final handling of a person's loved one's body may be, there could only be that mortician and that body in the same room, and who would know?
They did a small case study with, it looks like 1,200 cases. And
of necrophilia?
Yes, like what kind of jobs that the people had, and 92% of the cases involved males that had some kind of access to bodies.
So there you go.
Attendants, hospital orderlies, cemetery workers, things like that.
So
not the morticians, but the people, the collateral people. Well, interesting.
No, but they put them all together.
Yeah, so the morticians along with people that work at the like everybody in the death business. 92% of all necrophilia came from somebody in that
had access.
The handling of the dead body business. So, Lummy, it kind of leads to my theory.
Yes.
Meaning, like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. If you want to have sex with hot dead chicks, you become a mortician, and there you go. God, I would just be ate up with guilt. Oh my God! But hold on. If people are really going to get mad at me here. But is it a victimless crime?
No, it's not. The family. If that happened to my loved one, I am furious. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
There's not a victimless crime. It's not when you defame a body.
I just
it's
brought
the
it up.
family.
I was not insinuating that. I was just for argument reasons.
You're just thinking it out.
Yeah, I'm just thinking it out as real. I'm thinking it out real time. But oh my God, can you imagine?
If they did that to your mom, Janie Cakes?
Oh, my sister, my mom.
What would you, come on.
Bubba, there was a female, Karen Greenland, in California. She had 40 quote unquote victims.
Hold on. So Karen who?
Greenland.
She was the mortician?
Yes.
But hold on.
Oh, she was
hold
dirty.
on. But hold on. Here's what I understand. No. Let me walk you. Let's walk through this, okay? So if you're a man and you're a mortician and you happen to be into necrophilia, one would think that you would be having sex with dead women, correct? And dead women's genitalia probably doesn't work, but it's still accessible once they're dead. Now, they're not obviously getting turned on or anything like that, self-lubricating or anything like that, but with a woman to be a necrophilia and to be charged with necrophilia, and she had 42 victims, does a dead guy's wiener still work? Meaning, like, that doesn't seem to like physics and science wise, I would think that a dead guy's wiener is just like non-functional at all, unless she would maybe inject it with some type of plumping or something. Like, let me did the article you send me?
I just sent you the picture of what she looked like. I mean, she isn't horrible.
Can you look into the case?
That's what I'm looking at.
Oh, she's not disgusting.
No.
And so this woman was a mortician, and she supposedly had sex with 42 bodies. Now, does it denote as to, were they all men?
Yes, it was all men.
Okay, so Jay, does rigor mortis set into peanut? Like, how does it's my understanding that the only way a woman can have sex with a man is for the man to have an erect, and I'm using clinical terms, an erect penis. Otherwise, there's no ability to penetrate. So how does a mortician have sex with 42 men's bodies if indeed you can't get the wiener where it needs to be?
I'm interested in reading the punchline. How did that happen?
I don't know. I wish I had a punchline.
The article doesn't say how it happened.
Are you reading the article?
Yeah, because she did a journal.
Okay.
She journaled it too, like Fauci?
Yeah,
she kept a diary. Dear diary, today was number 38.
Old man Fred came in today. He was 62 years old, died of a heart attack, but I jumped on the ween and wrote it out. Woo! This is Karen Greenland from California. Victim number 42, Harold McGillicuddy, 62, heart attack. Like, so
it looks like she said, of course, the article I was reading, I ran out of my free trial. It said
of course you did.
It didn't take because she only got 11 days in jail.
What?
Because California at the time did not have a law against necrophiliac.
she violated 42 different men who have, if 42 men have probably, 1,000 different family members and loved ones that love those 42 men. So there's so many people that are completely distraught by her actions. And because California didn't have a necrophiliac law, she got 11 days in jail. That's it.
And probation for stealing the hearse.
Oh, she.
That's how she got busted. She got busted because she stole the hearse, took it 100 miles away, and was like hanging out with the guy.
Like Weekend at Bernie kind of deal?
Yeah, she says that you don't understand. You don't have to have penetration to have sex. You could do other things like rubbing and.
You think she was giving him? She probably was giving Grandpa oral. That's a lost leader. That ain't going nowhere, right?
Yeah, she said that because men are they leave you and they're abusive, and these guys wouldn't leave.
Oh,
Well,
here's the problem. She had separation anxiety, and because she'd been so many men had left her because once they found out what she was into, they're like, I am out of here.
Yeah, she said one of her boyfriends at the time told her she could go have sex with her.
So
her dead guys.
Yeah, she obviously let it be known what she was into. That 99.99% of all men were like, I am out of here. If she likes to, give Grandpa oral after he's died, I am out of here. So so she's got separation and anxiety, and so she figures these dead guys won't leave her, right?
Yes.
Back to the Maricopa County gimmick.
The Maricopa County Sheriff's Office telling me it happened around 1:30 Wednesday morning. Phoenix police and Maricopa County officials finding and arresting a person inside.
There was approximately 11 bodies that were
violated.
The bags that they were kept in, they were broken open.
And investigators are...
So this weirdo did it with 11 people?
Yeah, unzipped the body bags. Broke into the coroner's office, unzipped broke into the body bags and had sex with them.
Had sexual contact with several of them. Here at the Maricopa County.
Let me, Seth Wiley, who's been coming on strong lately. Woo. $25 for specifically Jay. Thank you, Seth. I appreciate you.
County Medical Examiner's Office today. We found a window boarded up and broken glass on the ground outside. Lou didn't appear in court in person today because of his combative behavior in jail. Court documentation.
Did we have a booking photo of this guy? Can you see if you can find it?
Yes. In his case has
see
now
what this weirdo looks like?
Been sealed at the prosecutor's request.
The state's been informed by law enforcement investigating this case that they need a little bit of time to make notification to the next of kin for the decedents in this matter.
Oh, Jay, so they have to do that. The agency has to get a hold of, all the 11 families that could be affected by this and say, hey, listen, we just want to let you know we got some bad news. There was a break-in to the medical exam, like stuff you can't even fathom. There was a break-in, and then this whack job, unzipped your grandpa's body, and we're thinking potentially might have had sex with it.
Is there a double standard with this, like with your children in college? Your boys and your girls you think of differently. So if this is your dad and he got a little sum and when he was dead, are you as mad as if it's your mom? Do you know what I mean? We're talking about victims, and I hate to sound so bad like that, but I think I'd feel horrible no matter what. But part of me would be like,
I'm almost
Dad getting a little bit when he's dead.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Here's the victim right here. He looks like a real scumbag.
Yes, he does.
I don't know. Is it more of a crime on a woman than it is a man? Do you feel if this is Arlene compared to Joe? How do you score that? How do you score that, Jay?
If Dad's the one caught in the hearse, down the road having a relationship with a woman while he's dead, does that make somebody as upset as when it's their mother? I don't know. I think probably, but it's just an interesting thing to, because part of you'd be like, Dad,
well, it seems like, but it seems like Mom, there's more violation and more penetration, to mom than there is dad. You know, she's just maybe playing with dad's dead wiener. There really ain't much, you know, a woman could do. Now, a man could, you know, do some bad things to dad's BH. You know, then you're thinking, oh man, poor dad. Dad never wanted things near the BH, and poor dad had to go through the BH deal.
That's a whole different. You see, you did just sum it all up.
Yeah, so
You're
now you feel bad for dad because dad would never want to go out that way, right?
No,
Dad
lived
was
his whole
never,
life without it.
Dad never did that in his entire life. Needed to have a man do some BH type deal, and in death, this numbnut just violated dad's BH. Dad went 83 years with an untouched BH, except for colonoscopies and prostate exams and just medical stuff. Dad was able to protect his BH from the bad guy until he died, and then the bad guy got dad's BH.
I wonder if these all 11 people are all females. You know what I mean? It didn't say.
I don't know. Damn. Anyway.
Crazy.
Man, the whole world of necrophilia. We actually had, back in the serious days, I think we had a guy call in, and he was a necrophiliac.
Yes.
Remember we had a guy that had Calvin the cow. Remember we had a guy named Calvin that had sex with cows?
Yes.
And then we had a woman that, she was a heroin addict, and she would put blue cheese in her vagina and have a cat lick it out for her drug.
What?
A drug dealer. She would go to get her smack of heroin, and she didn't have enough money, so he'd make her do various things with animals and stuff. Yeah. Remember the guy that had sex with the hams?
Yeah, the ham bandit.
The ham bandit? Yeah. Yeah, we had some. We one of these days need to get all these calls rounded up and just like the most outrageous calls.
All the sexual deviants you've had in one little trailer.
We had this one guy, Jay, from California, and he answered this ad from a man and a woman that wanted a young guy to come blast the older woman, and so he gets there. And she, I guess, had done this a lot with a lot of different dudes who were very well hung. Well, this guy wasn't as well hung as what grandma was used to. So, true story. Lummy can find the phone call.
Yeah.
The woman said, "Go out to the kitchen, and I got sliced ham. I got sliced boarhead's ham. Wrap your penis in ham to make it thicker, because I'm not going to be able to feel you."
Yeah, and use a rubber band to hold it on.
And he used a rubber band to hold the ham on his penis to give him more girth. That was a real phone call I took. For real.
It's not what you think.
What?
Since when? Actually, it's much less. Much less. Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
With looking at the old system,
Because that's free money.
Yeah.
It only takes $20 to
publish it.
Yeah.
And I do to the 10 tracks.
That's free money. We need to find the most outrageous.
I'll try working on that.
932 likes. We've got 13 minutes. Maybe we can get to 1,000.
Familiar? Chick was fucking doing 69 with the guy. Holy shit. What a fucking nasty.
Turn left onto Old Salem Road.
Why do you think Jamie did what he did?
I asked myself the same question.
He became untouchable. He told me, quote, "I run this mother."
Thank you, HS.
Jamie had the wool pulled over this community's eyes.
He had over $300,000 in legitimate income, and yet he was still stealing from the fire department.
He said he was going to try to make contact with Jamie to see if he's going to allow us in. She probably won't.
The sheriff is supposed to be someone you can trust.
As a public servant, you give to those in need.
What up, 305 Express 7? How you doing, my friend? Good morning. John Oak West. Maybe Butthole. What up, Fan212? Good morning, my friend.
Jeez, Cooper Lips. That's not nice. Yeah, the dolphin fucker.
Thank you. You don't know, Jake. I'll talk to Macho and see what we can do about that. What up, pull of your luck? Good morning, Organic Gene.
What's up, Big Roger?
I try to definitely enunciate, put my face in the microphone. I know that really makes a big difference. Thanks, Jack Roberts. Come on, thumbs up, guys. Shouldn't be that hard. $45 more, 44 more, in 10 minutes we could do that for sure. Have a great day, Jack Roberts Jr. I'd love to do a Colt 45 commercial. You know, 305, I don't stand up paddle. It hurts my hip. I tore my rotator in my hip about 10 years ago, and that weird motion just kind of hurts. Other than that, it's my hip's fine now. Thank you, Organic Gene. I try to engage with you guys. You need some car insurance, Berto Perez. Yeah, the body, it's not easy. Surfing is definitely a humbling sport. Thank you, Dirt Merchant. I'm trying my best. I do love you guys, BS Profile. One of my favorite parts is interacting with you guys on chat. I was really happy when Mach got me able to do it. Spitting Cobra malt liquor. It goes down smooth and silky. Thomas Roebuck, good morning. Brandon Foster.
So now he takes carb to, you know, let's say he's raised in a...
Thank you, Saka Gunner. Dan's back to normal. He's great these days. How close are we, guys? We got to be getting close. 970. We can get 30. Come on. Uncle Rucky, I believe it's 620 or 640. It's the Super Trofeo Evolution 2 model of the Huracan.
If you're looking for that non-offensive broadcast, you're in for a surprise. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
I love the sponge.
It's not that kind of love sponge. Back to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Of course, we couldn't get through a show, Lummy, without, of course, talking about the WNBA. We just have to.
Well, of
I mean,
course.
it's just common sense as to how retarded they are. A woman that was, I think, an Indiana Fever fan, traveled or was potentially from the Atlanta area, paid $1,000 a ticket for her and her daughter to go to the Atlanta game versus the Indiana Fever, the Atlanta Dream versus the Indiana Fever, the Indiana Fever in the State Farm Arena. And they were there specifically to see Sophie Cunningham. And so they wore T-shirts that said XXXY. And it said in the back of the daughter's shirt says, for the girls. And basically, it's a shirt that says, you know, XX is one gender and XY is another. XX is woman, XY is male. And for the girls. Now, and that, of course, is in support of Sophie Cunningham. That who would think that this was ever so shocking? Sophie Cunningham said, I think that guys shouldn't be allowed to play in girls' sports to protect girls. When would that ever think? When could we ever think that is controversial and offensive to support women, to be pro-woman, unless you're in such a whacked out sanctioning body like the WNBA? Here are the two people. By the way, the ushers of State Farm Arena, although they say nobody from the Atlanta Dream management asked these women to be removed, the ushers took them upon themselves to remove these two women.
And we were made to cover up our XXX
Yeah, they gave them shirts and told them to cover up or they had to leave.
Y shirts at this.
Now you can look, Jay. That's not controversial.
That is not offensive.
No, not at all. In fact, you know what it is? It's factual.
You have to seek it out. Someone had to narc her out to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like this is so offensive. They're not. By the way, you can wear whatever you want to wear.
Right. And,
Wait, are you saying
and if it is offensive, you could be asked to hide your message. Like if you said, there's a lot of offensive things a person could put on a shirt, but XX and XY, I support girls, is you know what? That's not offensive. That's truthful.
No.
And so
I saw a shirt where it was like F you F and F hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, okay.
Yes, they gave us shirts. They gave us T-shirts during overtime.
I mean, let me the league. This is over. Like they are over. Can they just can't get any more weird.
You know the Atlanta team didn't even come out for the national anthem in this same game.
Are you serious?
Swear to God.
Now, supposedly, yesterday, the WNBA walked it back.
Another day and another big mistake by the WNBA. Just one day after fans at a Fever versus Dream game said they were told by a security guard to cover their XXXY athletic shirts, the league has put out a statement saying it's aware of an incident where fans were told to cover their shirts and it shouldn't have happened. Well, it did happen, but it's progress because the W is admitting it's wrong. Maybe next time they'll even apologize for something like this. But for now, they're not. For now, they're probably just scrambling because this security guard threw a whole new log on the fire of this culture war that's overshadowing all the basketball going on right now. But let this be a lesson. Stop the gatekeeping. Let fans wear the shirts they want to wear to the games without being bothered and threatened to be removed.
Remember, somebody, I forget, there was a player, African-American player that said a couple white people were making comments. Nobody else heard them. Nobody said that there was nothing offensive, and they had him removed from the stadium.
Yes.
I mean,
the NFL didn't become the NFL by trying to push Eagles fans out of the league just because they're a little different. The W.
Eagles fans are a little different. That's a nice way of saying they're absolutely the most belligerent assholes to ever live.
Potentially has a
Bubba, you should go to an Indiana Fever game with a shirt on and see what happens to you.
Saying, girls stick to
XXXY.
Yeah, I am.
The same shirt.
Exactly.
First future ahead of it with a very large fan base. It just needs to accept them. It just needs to stop the gatekeeping.
This is going to come to a head with Enes Kanter Freedom, and with that other guy. I mean, they're going to have to make a decision before the draft.
Yeah, and supposedly they know it's coming, and they had a chance to make a decision a week ago, and their decision was we're not making a decision. So
right.
We're not changing any of our collective bargaining language to include and actually describe what a woman is. All you have to do currently to play is just identify as a woman. You don't, Jay, in order for them to really button it up, they have to put XX, what you were born. They're going to have to put that language in there.
Well, I believe the IOC, the International Olympic Committee, and I believe WTA, World Tennis Association, have both required genetic testing. And once you're tested, you've tested once, that's it.
So why is the WNBA so adamant about not requiring that?
Woke.
Man, I can't wait for a couple NBA guys to get in there. Jay, we appreciate you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
I'm around all weekend if you need me, kid.
All right, me too.
Hopefully I don't need you.
No doubt.
It's usually bad. We'll see you later, Jay.
Thanks for letting me finish.
You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian Lummet.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter program.
Gene Lasker, voice of the people.
Glad you get to hear me.
Gary Cantrell, video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up B.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Counsel.
Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra of Counsel.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello. I'm